Yoko and Frankie Dimensional Ring. Yoko and Frankie Dimensional Ring. Yoko and Frankie Dimensional Ring.
Yo, welcome to Yoko and Frisky's Dimensional Ring. Today, we'll be talking about the Danger Power Ranger anniversary. Oh, here he is. Woo! We have our buddy Frisky and Al and the other brother from other mother, Frankie!
Frankie Blaze.
Thank you everybody for having me.
Yeah.
Welcome. So give the audience a lowdown. What are we gonna do? What's on today's full agenda?
Well, let's hear for your guest. Can he speak? Are you here? Is your mic working?
Yes.
All right. Welcome to the show. Today we're going to talk about Power Rangers. This week was the 30th anniversary, man. Time flies, and we all feel old. So we're going to have a great discussion about, the good times and the bad times, the questionable moments, whatever. It's going to be awesome. And yeah, I got a few things to show Yoko. You guys can follow along by looking in the description. We got some links for you. And Frankie, Al, I'm going to post this stuff and talking stuff. So, without further ado, it's time for Yoko Reacts, baby.
Get ready to see me cry, y'all.
Oh, don't do that. Oh, that's a bad time.
No, right?
Nah, this is good stuff. Good stuff. I mean, first off, we got the brand new trailer for the Scott Pilgrim anime. I didn't even know it was coming out this year, but it's coming November 17th, and it looks beautiful. What you guys think?
I saw this preview already, and I thought of you, and I feel bad because I didn't talk to you about it. But they're following the comic book pretty close. And I'm very impressed. It was supposed to show on Cartoon Network, but I guess they're like, you know what, Cartoon Network, forget it. I'm very confused. Confusion.
Do we know where it's going to be now?
It's Netflix.
A Netflix.
Netflix, gotcha. Okay.
Netflix.
Yeah. Netflix.
Yeah, they got the whole movie cast back for this. I'm super excited. Jesus. I hope we get like 6 1-hour episodes. That should whet our appetites. What you think, Frankie?
I mean, to be honest, it would be cool if it was. The manga was what, like 6 volumes? I'm forgetting. It's been so long since. So like 6 1-hour episodes, like dedicated to like one of the books would be great. Like honestly, if you told me this, I don't know, 10 years ago, I'd be a lot more excited. But I'm sorry. Like I loved Scott Pilgrim when it was coming out, and I read that whole thing, like top to bottom, and I loved it then. When the movie came out, I was sort of disappointed, only because, as you know, I hate Michael Cera's face.
Dang.
I just hate his face. Honestly, I have no problem with him. I have a problem with his face. I really wish he wasn't Scott. Like, that was like my only big gripe with that movie. Even the deviations they took away from the live action ones is just Michael Cera. That's it.
I in no way disagree with you. Michael Cera, like in the words of Denethor from Lord of the Rings, I know his uses and they are few.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Right. At least he's not played by Scott the Woz. So.
I mean, honestly, I would almost prefer it.
Maybe.
I would almost prefer it.
And today, I'm excited for it. We'll love to see it. Can't wait to see the animation style.
Bro, why you say Scott the Woz and just throw that man down the stairs? Now I'm sad.
Speaking of Scott Pilgrim fighting games, where my fighting game head's at. Yep. Press F in the chat. Alright, check out this cool clip. It's from Street Fighter 5. It's a double KO clip, and yo, these guys are like so evenly matched. It's like Dragon
is
Ball
this 5
Z.
or 6?
I think it's 5.
Okay.
Oh my god, I think I saw this. Yeah, oh my gosh.
It's beautiful.
It's so cute. Look at our Ryus having a good time. Look at them and their big ass feet. I didn't realize how big Ryu's feet were.
Why are you talking
Until-
about
Say
his
about a
feet?
man with big feet.
I'm just like, dude, man makes his own freaking continents with his feet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, travels around without any shoes or sandals or anything really.
That's straight thug life, okay? You that is thug, okay?
He's dedicating himself to the hobo life. You gotta respect it.
He's probably a millionaire and he just like, I don't need anything.
No, that's Ken.
That's Ken, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Ken is like, he's got the ultimate power. Oh my god, the double KO. The ultimate power of them all.
Yeah.
What, black eyebrows, blonde hair?
That too. That too.
Don't worry, Ryu. You are Kenneth to me.
Oh.
That's probably what Ken said to him anyway.
So, what these guys should do, they should watch this next clip. This shows you how to defend yourself from a very specific weapon known as in the Latin community known as the chicleta.
Oh, I know about this from Surviving Edge Weapons.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's exactly where it came from. It's very valuable advice, if you ask me.
Yeah, worthless advice because it'll still get you.
It's my favorite part.
Yeah.
I feel like
there
I
you
did
go.
this when
Okay.
I was doing martial arts. Like, yeah, I did this exact move when you go inside. Like, you do this quick spin and toss the person. Oh no, the chancla go back. Oh no, the mom. Can you imagine playing a fighting game and you're able to summon your mom?
Exactly. Like again, you could try to defend yourself all you want. That shit ain't happening. You crazy?
That's
Oh
OP.
no, it's the mom.
Yeah. All right.
What's the next one?
God
where
damn.
am
Smacked him into next week.
Yeah, where are my Blue Beetle fans at? We got the Blue Beetle Battalion imp in here. Anyone? Anyone?
I do
Maybe.
like the actor. He's been pretty fun on Cobra Kai and a couple other internet things.
Yeah, I like him too, and I hope
A
he's
blue
going
beetle
places.
cake? What is
Yeah, on the Dimensional Rift, we've been having a lot of fun with weird cakes lately, so decided to throw
Oh
this
my
in there.
Gosh, oh, I'll never forget that one cake, that furry cake. Come on now.
What about the Shrek cake?
The Shrek cake was deliciously beautiful. Actually, this Blue Beetle cake is pretty fire, though.
Is it cake?
Yes,
What's it? Is it cake?
it is definitely cake.
I
Sorry,
love the blue
but-
beetle, so it's good.
Sorry,
Wonderful
nothing
flavor.
beats the Blue Beetle popcorn bucket, though. That little baby beetle.
That looks
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah,
I feel bad I didn't buy that. I kind of
Yeah.
want it.
it's
Yeah.
so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, keeping with today's theme, we got a leak of the brand new Master Morpher coming sometime soon. This thing looks awesome. It has all of Tommy's coins, got Turbo, Black Dino Ranger, even got the Falcon coin, which is a nice
You know,
touch.
all things that were actual coins. None of them were coins. They never had one coin.
Yeah, but this adds to the lore a little bit. And then,
Yeah.
Yeah, the one dude gets everything. It's like, ah, sweet man. I can't believe you got like the ultimate morpher.
The ultimate.
We had like how many different Rangers was he? Like he was quite a few.
Oh, of course, yeah.
He
He was
was-
like what, 6,
5.
7?
He
Yeah.
was green, white. Then he was red turbo.
Yeah.
What else was there? Then there.
Black
he was
Dino.
the Black Ranger
Din-
and Dino Thunder.
Dino Thunder, Silver. I thought he was Silver Ranger. Hold on.
Mm,
Let's look at the list.
he was the Green Ranger, the White Ranger. He was the freaking Red Ranger from Zeo. He was
Oh yes, Neo. Thank you.
He
I
was
forgot
Red
about
Turbo, and then he was the Black Dino Thunder. So yeah, he was 5.
I forgot Zeo. Thank you so much.
Are we
No
talking
problem.
about the comics? Because he was Lord Drake and
He was Lord
Lord
Draken.
Draken. Yeah.
whatever.
That was great. He was. I really wish they incorporated that in some way, but they never will.
They never will. Yeah.
Well,
it was.
if you know Power Rangers so much, what was the inside seam of his pants?
His dick, I assume. I don't know.
I'm assuming he was a dick size.
Oh my god.
Last but not least, we got something from Yoko's favorite superhero of all time.
Oh god, please.
With an important message.
Okay, this is getting back at me for being so mean to this poor man. I have regret. Wait, we gotta see this.
Yeah, you spell it out. Spell it out.
H.
Oh boy, it's gonna take a while. You want me to just tell
Yes.
you? It says "fuck Disney."
Yeah,
Oh,
it's just like Disney.
that's even better. I love that.
Yeah, pay your writers, Disney. And
Yeah.
yeah, that was Yoko Reacts. Hope you guys enjoyed that. And before we get into the Power Rangers discussion, I want to talk a little bit about Bomb Rush Cyberfunk. Have you played it yet, Frankie?
I've yet to play it because it only just came out on consoles, and I haven't picked it up yet.
Yeah, so I don't have a review yet, but I'm gonna give you like.
But I will say the music's fire.
Yes, I'm gonna give it the first impressions. I played a little bit, and so far I'm really enjoying it. And the style is definitely. It feels like an American Jet Set Radio, which is cool. It's like it could be its cousin, its distant cousin from across the seas. And the music is fire, like you said. They definitely didn't mess up with the soundtrack.
I love it.
Yeah, my nephew was watching me play and he was dancing to the music. That's how I know they got it right. I'm like, hell yeah. The story is wild. Like, you know, I won't spoil it for you guys, but the story is definitely not what I expected. But I wish I could take a shot every time they say we're gonna go all city, because they say that a lot. They talk about, you know, they repeat the same information in cutscenes, and the cutscenes are long, and you know there's no voice acting. I think this game could have used a Professor K, you know, a Professor K type that narrates the story and tells you what's going on. And I would have loved to hear the voice acting, you know, because it would have showed off more of the personality of the characters. But overall, I'm having a lot of fun with it. There's way more platforming than I expected. There's some cool challenges. And, you know, I'm going into this like saying, hey, I played Jet Set Radio a million times. I'm going to be so good at this. But even I had to, like, you know, step my game up, especially finding some of the tags. Like, they're really high on the top of these skyscrapers, and you have to, like, really use your brain in the environment to get up there. So, yeah, I'm having a great time, and I think it was worth the wait, you know. I can't wait to see more gangs and more places, and yeah, check it out. It's only $40.
That's not bad. Like, we wait a long time for it.
Yeah, once I beat it, I'll give you more thoughts on it. But right now, it's looking great.
Part 1, everyone. Part 1.
And now, our feature presentation.
So, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers turned 30 years old this week or last week, depending on when you're listening to. And we're going to talk about it. Like, there's been so many iterations of the team, so we're not going to get into detail about every single season. We'll be here forever. But we're just going to share our overall thoughts on the franchise, you know, where we want to see it go, our history, you know, stuff like that. So, you know, who wants to kick it off?
We'll go around. I will go because I am I'm a troll. First off, I would like to say the Power Rangers was inspired by Super Sentai. No, I'm not going to do that. I
Yoko come in
No.
here with those cold takes.
right. Pushes up glasses. See, Super Sentai is far more superior. However, if it were not for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, we would not see the advanced technology that we have with Power Rangers today. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry, I did it. I will never forget when Mighty Morphin Power Rangers came out when I was little, and I went to Catholic school. And the teacher was like, "Oh, we won't let our children watch that show. It's so violent." We had to read an article about how a child pretty much like kicked another kid so hard his shoulders clapped.
Damn.
Because I'm exaggerating. That's pretty much what happened. Because the show was too violent. And I'm like, I just practice my martial arts because it has good messages. And this show has a great message, but Power Rangers was lit. That toy game was lit. Mighty Morphin's toy game was lit, and I was always jealous of my friends for having like the whole Megazord. So I'll get into Super Sentai when you guys go around the circle, but yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, I started watching it at the tender age of 3, so I was very influential at that age. I could have been exposed to anything. It could have been Maury Povich and I would have been hooked, but it happened to be Power Rangers, thank goodness. And yeah, man, it's the ultimate like show for kids. Like, it's colorful costumed heroes, martial arts, friendship, school, awesome music by Ron Wasserman. Hell yeah. My mom got me like all the toys, man. Like, if you had the whole set of Power Rangers, you were an only child because those things were expensive, man.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, so I was into the show. I watched it from first season of Mighty Morphin all the way to like the beginning of Wild Force. That's when I started to like fall off. But man, I was hooked, And like you said, the toys were the bomb. I would play with my toys so rough, like the arms and legs would fall off, but I would still playing with them. And when the Green Ranger came and kicked everybody's ass, that was like a big deal in children's television. It was a 5-parter. What other kids show has a 5-parter? Come on. And then he turned good, and then he lost his powers, and then he became the White Ranger. And then the Jason, Zach, and Trini went to the Priest Conference, and you got the new guys from Stone Canyon, Rocky, Adam, and Aisha. It was a lot to handle at such a young age, but I handled it, man, and I rode with them all the way till Zeo and Turbo and all that jazz, man. That was my show, man. For real.
Man, talking about sorry.
Yeah, passing the torch. Your turn.
All right, so you're talking about like the slight cast change in the middle of it, and I'm just thinking like, oh my gosh, Johnny Young Bosch, like just kind of like just randomly showing up as I revisit this TV show. It's like, oh, the prolific voice actor, star of anime TV for the 5 people that remember that TV show when it was around. Like, it's like there's a lot to love about that show, and like a lot of the things that like such nostalgia and stuff that wasn't around until Power Rangers was. I remember going to see the movie in theaters, and I think that was the peak and then the end of my like big interest in the franchise as a child. I was just kind of like, wow, that movie was awesome. And then like never following up with the show after that for whatever reason. I just kind of like, just like, okay, well, Power Rangers was great. Bye.
Well, what's funny? The movie's not even canon, so it's like,
no, it's not. Yeah,
it's not required.
To be off. Well, dude, okay, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I loved the Power Ranger movie. I love watching it with my friends. because like I would watch it at least once every 10 years or something like that. And before I watched it with you, Frisky, I watched it with another one of my friends, and we were
cheater.
like, "Oh my god, this is before I even knew you."
Hussy, you cheated on me.
What?
I'm gonna be real. Like, I've watched that movie a few times within recent history.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stand it. Like, it's for whatever reason, I'm just kind of like, I don't know if it's because the most recent rewatch, it was kind of like within the same week or 2-week period where I rewatched the Turtles movie, which holds up infinitely better. And, like,
It does. It does.
and I was just sitting there like, man, this movie kind of blows. And I'm like,
What are you talking about? You don't like Van Halen's "Dreams" at the end of that movie? Like it's a great.
It's a classic.
Keep on skating.
Had to deal with Van Halen for that entire movie.
oh
but
my god.
They were skating for cancer.
they were skydiving into skating for cancer
Yep.
around construction yards or whatever.
My god, like the impression that Power Rangers gave you of high school, of this never-ending like charity event, or like we would all be driving quads on the weekend just for stuff to do, like that we, casually go skydiving on the weekend, guys. Oh no.
I can honestly say the Power Rangers TV show, the original show itself, did emphasize so much for youth, participation and youth, awareness of community, that it did influence me a lot during my formative years and growing up and being out there for a lot of my charity drives and doing stuff like that. But yeah, of course, they would not let 14-year-olds skydive up of a goddamn plane.
True.
For charity.
But we all wanted to,
We
and like
wanted to, but that was never happening.
I hate to say it, I'm far more with Frisky. You know what it inspired me to do? Go buy toys.
I bought a few toys.
They were an honor roll. That's why they got to go skydiving.
They were all honor rolls.
I don't know why Bulk and Skull was there. Why would Bulk and Skull skydiving with them?
Because they were, again, as much as a lot of people don't know, they are the heroes of the show.
Oh,
don't
they
you
really
understand?
are.
Go into that.
We've all watched History of Power Rangers. We know that Bulk and Skull are the actual main characters.
The actual main characters. They go through so many character arcs.
Yeah.
List them.
Yeah,
List them off.
they really do. Wait. Okay, I gotta ask this. I know it's jumping ahead a little bit, but I know that in Power Rangers Samurai, Bulk is taking care of Skull's son.
Yes.
Yeah.
Were they a thing?
They had
But Bulk and Skull?
No, Skull is off somewhere else being kind of rich. It's somewhat implied that he got together with Kimberly, but that's also not canon because we see her elsewhere and she's obviously not with him. But like there's some weird reference to it in the middle of Samurai. I guess it's a bit they didn't stick with or whatever, but supposedly that's where he's at. He's just made money, and Bulk is just has a dojo apparently.
And just taking care of his kid. That's it.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, Skull dropped his kid off and was like, all right, I got to go
I'll be back later.
Millionaire stuff. Bye.
I still say, and I brought it up before, I still say biggest missed opportunity for that show, which I didn't watch. I didn't watch Power and Samurai. But biggest missed opportunity is that kid didn't become the Sixth Ranger. Like, that's the biggest... That's the biggest missed opportunity for that series of all time. I'm like, you're going to bring back the heroes of Power Rangers, Bulk and Skull, in some reference. You're going to bring one of them has a child who is of Power Ranger age, and you're not going to make him the Sixth Ranger? That's so fucking stupid.
Wait, so
It's
we're
wild,
talking
man.
about Countdown to Destruction, where they were the first ones to fight against the invasion?
Exactly. They're the first one to put up dukes. They're the first one to stood up and went like, I'm the Blue Ranger, and I'm the Black Ranger. Some shit.
Yeah, that was so long ago.
They were the best.
Yeah,
you actually.
That's why. Yeah, that's why I said that fucking it's such a missed opportunity for Skull's kid not to be the Gold Ranger in Samurai. It's such a missed opportunity because you guys were the pinnacle of wanting to be heroes, to becoming heroes, and standing up for the Earth during the most dire of times, to not being put into the limelight in Samurai when they brought back Bulk. It's like, you could have done it. The kid was raised by two fucking heroes. He should have been raised on Power Ranger shit from the get. He should have been the same as that Gold Ranger, going like, yo, I trained myself, I made a morpher, and I became a Power Ranger.
Uncle Bulk? Uncle Bulk? Uncle Bulk?
Oh my god. Their stories never intersected with the Rangers.
Never intersected. You have a completely disembodied part of this show added in for whatever reason. I'm assuming
Samurai has a lot of weird issues with it.
Samurai is the only series out of all of the Power Rangers that's directly lifted from the Sentai, like almost unabashedly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you sure not Dino? Sorry. Which Dino?
Thunder?
Fury?
The one with the purple ranger that looks like fucking...
Oh, Dino Charge.
Dino Charge.
Yeah, Dino Charge. That's
because I followed the Purple Ranger martial art guy. Sorry,
Stalker.
I'm confused. No, I was watching Power Rangers, Dino Thunder, and the original Juken Sentai Genki Ranger at the same time. I was watching both of them, and I'm like, wow, one feels like will. Oh, fuck. I'm messing it up. I'm sorry. I gotta look it up. Keep talking.
Okay.
So it's weird you mention that like there are some similarities. Like there's this weird thing going back to Mighty Morphin where you watch the original Ranger series and they have a bit about like the Green Ranger's lifespan is attached to this candle.
Yeah.
And that's still brought into Mighty Morphin. It's not like they reused footage from Ranger. They just carried over the candle bit, and it's like, but why?
I have a moment where Tommy's stuck in a cave that he can't get out of, and be like, "I'm gonna die if I leave here." It's like no, it's just
you gotta fight for this candle. Like it's like what the hell?
It has Jason go like, I got you, Tommy. I'll get this thing, man. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. But you guys don't know his essence was getting sucked out from the candle.
No, but like it's so weird that like for whatever reason Mighty Morphin really decided like it didn't lift things exactly, but it took like bits and pieces like that candle, and like having it attached to the Green Ranger's power set. And again, it's not like they used it as they used any of the footage. They just decided, no, this was the thing. Oh, Jungle Fury. Yes, there we are.
My bad.
Oh yeah, Jungle Fury. So yeah, that's the kickboxer one. Yeah, I like that one. Genki Ranger was one of my favorite Sentais. Freaking Kongo Jan. But the original Power Rangers, like most of like the original stuff, had to, until they got deeper into the weeds when they ran out of Sentai footage, was that they were still new, so they had to literally cut around everything else. So they didn't really know how to cut around everything else when they were doing it. So when we got like the candle bit, or they had to feed giant sandwiches to a pig monster to beat it.
Yeah.
It's like they didn't really know what to leave in and what to leave out. Even in freaking Turbo with that nonsense baked into a pie, it's like, yeah, okay. Like they just didn't know how to cut around certain material to like make it more like in line. Yeah. But it's just funny that they got better at it as the series went on. Like, when they started like, paying the Sentai to make more scenes so they could lift it. And then, when they got into like the further into the what you call them? Freaking what the hell was it? What the hell was the one after that? The one that lifted a White Ranger from it. I'm forgetting the actual Sentai. What the name?
Oh yeah, I know.
Gosager. I think it was like something Gosager. Because there's like two Gosagers, but that one they just had to rely more and more on the American suits and American actors and stuff like that.
Ranger.
Die Ranger. Thank you. I forgot. Yeah. Yeah, I forgot that.
Okay,
I love that theme song.
When you guys when you guys watched Power Rangers, did you know it was based on Super Sentai, or did you find that out later, like I did? I
was a child. Yeah,
I saw a kid
later in life.
I saw a kid wearing a T-shirt with the Power Rangers, and it was in Japanese, and I was like, "Whoa, what channel is that on?" Like I thought it was like a dubbed version of Power Rangers, but it was the other way around.
Oh, you mean like that one episode in Dino Thunder when they see that Japanese version of themselves, they go like, "Posers."
Yeah, dude, that was great. Okay, you guys will never. You probably won't remember this, but when Power Rangers was on Fox Kids, they had what were the Power Rangers like in other countries, and they showed the Power Rangers ending in Japanese, and they were doing para para, which is a funny. I want to say it's a funny dance, but I've never seen the Blue Ranger like dance so elegantly before. And they were like, yeah, the original footage came from Japan. And I was like, oh, McDonald. I don't know.
That's
Right. Yeah, when I was a kid, I didn't know it was from a Japanese origin until probably like well into my teens.
Yeah.
I wasn't really like paying attention to it that much
Yeah,
until I figured it out. I think you know what? I honestly I think I knew it was that when the Power Rangers movie was first coming out. I think that's when I learned about it.
No, I was still years down the line before that mystery was unveiled to me. Watching it now, it seems painfully obvious where they're like, they start to fight one place, and then all of a sudden, like, and now we're here, and it's like it looks completely different. Like, really, like at some point that should have clicked, but it really never did. I don't know, like, because when you're a child, you just don't understand or acknowledge or realize
you're having
that
fun.
sort of thing.
You're just in for the ride. You're just there.
It's a fun action show.
When a giant space blue man from Oz tells you I need 5 teenagers with attitude, you don't question it.
Exactly. Okay, guys, I figured it out. All right. So you guys are going to be blown away. So the reason why I brought up Power Rangers Jungle Fury is because I always thought that freaking RJ looked like Owen Wilson. And here is here like, what if it was Owen Wilson's son or cousin? And here's the picture. Give me 1 second. I had to Photoshop them both together.
I'm upset.
Just like, you're gonna see it, and now you're never gonna unsee it, and you're welcome.
All right, because I know what they both look like in my head, and it's like
that's messed
just
up.
because he's doing that pose, yeah, it's like whoa.
They both do the lip thing. They both do the lip thing.
Wasn't
I think
Purple
that's
Ranger
part of
the
like the
mentor?
surfer guru bit where it's just kind of like that's where the lip flap comes from. Like I guess I'll trust that you see this because I don't.
I'm sorry. I think it's because of the mannerisms. Because you said the most important thing, the surfer like laid back, and Owen Wilson does that too. And I'm like, were they trying to do a combination of Master Guru, or was he just goofing around?
I think they were just trying to make Beach Bum sensei who doesn't take things too seriously. I mean, again, I never watched freaking Jungle Fury. Like that was in the territories of Power Rangers that I just stopped caring about. Even though I liked Geki Ranger a lot, I just was like, I can't watch this knowing what Geki Rangers is and trying to smash it together in my own head. But yeah, RJ was like, I remember seeing like a few clips of the kid and like watching him do his thing, and I was like, all right, man, I guess this is what Power Rangers is now.
That's when it was owned by Disney, and they all had
superpowers.
Yeah.
Jetix. Yeah.
Jetix.
The legal battle over not legal battle, but the back and forth of the Power Rangers franchise is fascinating, really.
Nobody wants it.
It's true. Because I guess Nickelodeon has it now, right?
No, Nickelodeon does not have it. Hasbro owns the entirety of the Power Rangers franchise.
Wow.
So at one point, Transformers, G.I. Joe, and Power Rangers can all collide at some point.
They can. But what's really weird about this is that, Super Sentai is still a Bandai thing.
Yeah.
Like it's this very weird nebulous place where Power Rangers is owned by their competitors, but Power Rangers is based off of their material. So, Bandai used to cover a lot of the toys of that would translate over here as Power Rangers stuff, and that just kind of doesn't happen anymore.
That's so bizarre.
It's very weird, but that's how it shook out. Where Hasbro just bought the franchise, and now they have it, and they're re-releasing, or not re-releasing, they're redoing some of Bandai's ideas of Power Ranger stuff. Like Hasbro's had the Lightning Collection, which is like 6-inch scale Power Ranger stuff for about.
Oh, you're
35,
so
40
right.
years. Yeah.
I remember going to Toys R Us before it closed, and they had like the Green Ranger, they had White Ranger, they had
That would not have been Lightning Collection. That would have been Bandai's attempt at a 6-inch
Bandai's
line.
attempt. Okay,
Yeah,
my
because
bad.
this
I'm
happened
getting them all
after
confused.
Toys R Us went under. Did they wind up buying the collection? Because they've only had Lightning Collection like 2019 onwards. So like,
Damn.
It's been like 4 years. I was thinking about, like, it's only been like 4 years since I remember that thing coming out.
yeah.
By
and
the way,
it's been really cool.
I was
wonder
gonna
who
say,
owns. Sorry,
so
go for it.
it's okay. The audience should know that Al here is a toy expert. I go to him for anything and all toy. Yes.
I like toys.
Yeah, I've been collecting action figures and stuff. I guess my whole life. Because when did besides like a small break that I took in high school where I was like, no, I'm grown up now. I'm hanging out with my friends listening to the Offspring. I'm like, you know.
Okay.
But no, I really love a lot of the toy industry and action figures in general. I haven't bought into the Lightning Collection because, good lord, do I need to, like, I can't buy everything. But I follow almost all of this stuff, and I do own a couple pieces from that collection. Like, I bought iGuy because I really like the monsters from it. Like, the monsters they've released look so cool, and are
I will say
packed
the
with
original designs for the monsters from back when were still one of my favorite monster designs. Like, to this day,
Hell yeah.
like I don't think anything has come close to like the monster designs of like the late '80s to like the early '90s.
Agree.
That Lord
I
Zed
agree.
design is fantastic.
And that's a pure American invention. Like that, it's like Lord Zed.
Yep.
Freaking Giger versus like meeting a Power Ranger shit. It's freaking fantastic. I love that design.
Yep.
Yo.
Well, they did say that the Japanese had to dub Mighty Morphin because it was that popular. They basically, it's a different power Super Sentai, but it was perceived so well even overseas. They just redubbed it in Japanese, or they dubbed it in Japanese, and I've always wanted the monster book. All the monsters back then were so good. Like an art concept book, I would freaking love.
Yeah.
They're fantastic, man. Oh my gosh.
I like that Lord Zed was an American creation, you know.
Mhm.
He replaced Rita, and then parents had to write into the studio because their kids were so scared of him. They made him marry Rita, and then they toned him down. They had to nerf him because he was too scary for kids. That's awesome. Very
The fact that he became such a goofball character later on is such a weird, like, you know, juxtaposition to like how he used to be, and like just knowing where, like, when he first showed up, he shook the screen. Like, you know, when he shows up with a live python like around him that turns into a fucking staff, and then he's the only, like, out of mostly all the Power Ranger villains that existed, he's still the only one who technically went undefeated. Like, he shows up, you know, causes a bunch of destruction, gets into the command center, fights Tommy in his most powerful form, the White Ranger, and beats him, and like fights him to a standstill, basically. And then goes like, yeah, man, you can't do anything about this. And then later the Machine Empire shows up and goes like, we're gone. We're done here. I'm like, damn, you went like 1-0, but you became such a joke like afterwards that it kind of diminishes your gains. Like, it kind of sucks, man. But you were fantastic.
Zed and Rita acted like my parents when they argued, and I was like, "This is a little too close to home and awkward."
Oh no!
Listen, Rita Repulsa
And then-
is a drag icon, okay?
Oh yeah, Rita Repulsa
It's true.
like that is a queen right there. Like, I love Bendor.
Yeah, she set the
That's
stage.
so funny.
She set the stage for Divatox and Astronema and all those baddies you see in future seasons to come.
That's very true.
Didn't Divatox get pregnant halfway through the show, and then they had to replace her?
They did.
She got pregnant after the movie. And
Got it.
Get a different actress
By
for the
who?
TV show.
Yes.
Who on that movie got her pregnant? Who did it? Was it
Yo,
Larry?
dude.
It was
Giant-
Larry.
The giant lava monster.
It was the little Hobbit thing.
Nah, man, it's giant lava monster. Whatever his name was, Dark something.
Dark Spectre.
No, was it Dark Spectre? I don't remember.
No, they-
Who
remember.
knows? Something dark side.
Yeah, something like that.
Yo, you and your Larigo. Was it Larigo? Did you do this?
You want to blame Largo for everything, man.
Oh god! Like, that movie was canon, but I'm gonna.
Yeah, let's
You know,
talk about
as much
Turbo.
crap as I gave the first movie, Turbo the movie is just hot, wet garbage.
It
Hold on,
really
let
is
me just
bad.
say this. Let me just say this. 'Cause I like the Power Rangers movie itself. Like when it came out, it's such a bizarre, weird thing that exists.
Yeah,
like
you can rewatch that movie and have a good time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It exists, like, in a moment in history where Power Rangers was at the highest, like the height of their power.
Yep.
To be like, the conceit of that we can never lose. We're gonna make this freaking Power Rangers movie. We're gonna rake in millions, and they did. But just knowing that this movie was all right, we're gonna have a random kid in this movie that won a contest, never acted before, but we're gonna stick his ass in this movie and be like the third lead, like the subplot of what's going on with the kids and the adults and all that stuff. This kid's gonna be leading the charge, and I'm like, why are we here with this?
It's because Rocky wanted more money, and they
No,
wouldn't
not
pay
from
him.
Turbo, not from Turbo, from the
Oh,
original
my
Power
bad.
Rangers movie.
My bad.
From the
My
original
bad.
Power Rangers movie.
You're right.
Like-
You're right.
Like
Talk
just
about-
knowing that.
Talk about Fred.
Yeah, I'm talking about that kid that freaking is there with the kids and all of them in the beginning.
Yeah, and he does the fire hose thing.
Yeah, because he wins. Again, that kid won a contest to be in this movie. Like
Are you
that's
serious?
He didn't act,
yeah,
he didn't
that's
act
not,
badly.
he didn't act bad, but he never acted before. This kid just literally won a sweepstakes off a cereal box or whatever, and then it's put into this $1 million movie that they had to budget for. CGI was fresh out the gate. We're gonna make CGI monsters and CGI fucking Megazords. It's gonna be great. It's gonna we're gonna have a final battle in space. We're gonna have a freaking train that that's gonna be lifted by a Falcon Zord. Like all this
We're gonna
stuff.
kick a guy in the dick. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. People are gonna love this movie. And of course, we spent most of that money again licensing Van Halen songs. And I'm like, okay, this movie. Like chef's kiss, how the amount of nonsense that had to be done, and some studio exec was like, "Fuck it, just do it, whatever." Yes, okay, fine.
I don't understand. I'm with you on this with the Van Halen thing. I don't get it.
Don't get it.
Yeah, when they did the Transformers movie, which admittedly is 10 years prior, but you got Stan Bush,
Yep.
80s hair metal, makes sense, 100%. I'm on board. But
mid to late 90s freaking Van Halen.
I mean, I guess we should be thankful they didn't do a rap.
That's true. That was the tradition of the times. See Digimon the movie.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
So-
but I don't know. I feel like there was better music choices we could have gone with than that.
Again, hindsight's 2020. At the time, I'm hearing Dream at the end of that thing, going yeah, it is awesome. I didn't even know who Van Halen is. At the time. But yeah, it was freaking amazing.
Listen.
But yeah, Turbo's a Power Rangers movie. The one movie that actually counts in canon for Power Rangers. The last actual true attempt for a live action, studio release, movie theater release, Power Rangers movie.
Did that movie not do as well? I remember the first one did the best,
Yeah.
but
It was-
Although there's the 2017 one.
Oh yeah, the last one that counts for the
yeah.
in terms of we're adapting the actors and all the stuff from the
Yeah.
shows. The 2017 movies, yeah, it's a next attempt, that's years down the line.
Yeah.
But that's a fresh coat of paint. We're trying to,
Turbo was you're right. The cast, it was literally bringing them to
to
and
the
it was
big screen and everything. And it's going to be we're going to introduce, we're going to take the homegrown audience we have and put them here.
and it's so bizarre that they decided okay, this one's canon, the one that fewer people by a larger margin didn't see. And that's going to be established in canon, and the other one was
No,
it's
it's
so
okay
bizarre.
though, because Power Rangers Turbo, the first episode gives you a montage of the movie.
That's true.
It
That's good.
does not. It
It's
does.
expected. I mean, to be honest, that's the smart call. There's like,
Yeah.
I don't think everyone's going to be watching this movie, so let's make sure there's a recap, just so you know. Rocky threw his ass off of a ring, and that's why we have a little kid.
Yep, Rocky literally throws himself out of the movie.
Like, on brother, he did that himself.
He did a
He
Never
sure
seen
did.
Rocky like in a lot of the reunion and Power Ranger reunions. Like we'll see Johnny Young Bosch show up, like especially in Overdrive.
Yep.
Like I love Bosch's return to the role in that series, even though that series is
Even
awful.
before that, when he shows back up in space, like when he
Yeah.
shows up, which is great.
Yeah, Bosch has got some great comeback performances, but you never see like Rocky ever come back for anything, and he was a Red Ranger. What happened with that?
Because he wasn't the best. I'm sorry, Steve Cardenas. I love you. You seem like a decent dude. But when he became the Red Ranger, all of a sudden the Red Ranger became lame.
Oh yeah, you're not
Dang.
wrong because
Even
Jason
later.
was amazing, man. Jason
It was amazing.
yeah,
And
man.
But that was the thing. The Red Rangers were traditionally the leaders. And then when, then all of a sudden, like, Tommy showed up and he was a more fan favorite character, so they had to shift the light to him, and then the White Ranger became the leading character that a lot of people liked. And then when Jason left, all of a sudden there was no like who you like more. It's, well, obviously we like Tommy more, so Rocky, you could take a seat down here. Like, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Like,
they didn't even invite him for Forever Red, dude. Like,
No, yeah,
Yeah,
he doesn't
they
even show up in Forever
didn't.
Red. Yeah.
But there is reparations for him in what was the Netflix special?
Yep.
Wasn't
I
even
feel
the next.
so bad. I still haven't seen it. I meant to watch it before this podcast, that I didn't do it.
I'm not going to spoil it for you. Just know that he's in it, and
Oh, that's good.
I just basically I call it the reparations episode because all of those people that were in it did quit because they were not getting paid enough money because it was all Tommy centered, all of it.
yes.
So it was like a tribute to the people who were gone and reparations to the people who were screwed over. So
And it's not as though Jason David Frank was paid a ton more anyway. Like none of these guys were making a lot of money. Like I think one of them even said they could have made more at McDonald's than they could have made doing the Power Ranger stuff.
yeah, that was the Blue Ranger.
Yeah.
But Tommy made a lot of money because he had his own martial arts franchises and dojos. From Florida to California, some places in the Midwest. And he even came to each franchise. Sorry. And then he became a UFC fighter. And I think that's what did him in.
I mean, he also, like, he did the convention circuit a lot. Like, he would still be, like, the most popular of, like, the lines that would go there. Like Jason David Frank had again, because he was there so long and was the fan favorite for such a long time, he got so much more than a lot of them would have. Like,
and he cared a lot about the franchise too. Like this, he was not a person who showed up and was trying to like milk it for all it was worth and like did the handshakes and the peace signs or whatever. Like he genuinely when he came back, and when he talked about it, that the franchise, it was what it was with reverence. So like he gave a crap about it. And it's kind of what makes everything concerning him passing so much more tragic is that he was such a shepherd for the franchise for so long.
He really was.
Yeah,
He
more
really
so
was.
than anyone who's ever actually owned it.
Dang!
Listen, there are very few opinions I'll have here, but like Haim Saban can eat the brownest part of my ass.
Oh, yeah.
But
Saban, eat his ass on.
Yeah, he and his mom is not a good dude.
Yeah, let's talk about the reunion special. Once and always. We'll keep it light on the spoilers, but I thought it was great. Like, I thought it was really solid. It was great to see David Yost and Walter Jones come back. They were definitely like the leads in that.
Yeah, it was definitely a Zach and Billy show.
Yeah, it was. That's why I said reparations. Like, bro.
Hip hop Aikido.
I honestly thought you were talking about the other, like, reunion that they had.
my
one
bad.
because when you were talking about like Jason Never Frank, because Jason Never Frank is in the other reunion, he's not in this reunion.
Which reunion is that? Because they did a lot of them over.
Yeah,
the years.
the one previous to this Netflix special, there was the Shattered Grid, but it wasn't the comic. It was the one where Steve Cardenas comes back. He's in that one, and the guy who played Wesley from Time Force, the freaking Blue Ranger from Dino Fury. Jason Never Frank comes back. That's where the Massive Morpher actually.
Yeah, where he has to fight himself. Yeah,
he wants to fight the robot, which is again not Lord Draken, not the Shattered Grid, and I'm like, you had it all there, man. You could have made
it. Was all there. They missed it by that much. It was
It's like you could have done this. Come on, but whatever. Like I thought we were talking about that episode because that's the first time Steve Cardenas comes back since then.
My bad.
And then he comes back for Once and Always or Once in Future or whatever.
That was Ninja Steel, right? Am I crazy?
Yeah,
I think it was Ninja Steel. Yeah, again, a series I didn't watch.
Yeah, when I think about that reunion, I forget that it's Ninja Steel because the Ninja Steel Rangers have such a small part in it. It's the Tommy show.
It's a Tommy show, 100%.
Yeah,
I'm cool with that though. You know, fine.
Yeah,
it's not like in what's it, Dino Thunder, where he doesn't take over. He doesn't take over the series. He just shows up for a special. I'm like, oh hey, Tommy Oliver. We're happy to have him
Tommy
for an episode.
Oliver.
Yeah, Doctor Tommy Thomas Oliver. Paleontologist.
Yeah,
He's like, we went to school. We saw him when he went to college. That stuff.
I mean, listen. He could have chosen whatever career after high school, and it would have made sense because do we know our end goal jobs when we're in high school? No, so he could have been like, man, I got to hang out with robot dinosaurs. I might as well be a paleontologist.
That's true. Even though mine was a dragon.
Yeah.
I do love that he goes into that career just because it leads to the thing. I love that he does get into teaching, like to be completely honest. When he shows up in Dino Thunder and he has the mentor role to be the Zordon of the group. I'm like, that makes perfect sense. He's a veteran ranger. He knows the ropes, teaches the thing. He becomes the freaking Black Ranger, and then he gets invisible and like can't be seen for whatever reason because he had to like not be in New Zealand or whatever.
Yeah,
that's so funny. Stop.
I love that series. It's like he shows up and he has to the fight within himself to fight the three variations of himself to be like, yeah, it's okay, man. You let all those people die. Don't worry about it. I'm like, all right, cool. You can't save them all, Tommy. That's the point. It's like, all right, cool. I finally cannot demorph or whatever. But I love that series. I also love that series a lot just because I love the parallels of like the White Ranger in that. That's a parallel to like the Green Ranger. All cool stuff. But anyway, we were talking about what?
What's Always a Ranger? Like which
Always,
I'm probably gonna have to watch as soon as we're done with this. Like I'm immediately gonna go into that. Man,
I think you'll enjoy it.
Yeah,
great. I will say I did watch the preceding show from Ninja Steel, Beast Morphers, unpropped it. Like I was never after my love affair with it in childhood. I never came back to the franchise and felt like I could be a part of it again. But for whatever reason, I was sitting back and I'm like, Power Rangers Beast Morphers on Netflix, whatever. And I watched that show from beginning to end.
Nice.
And I don't know what it was about that show, but I loved it, man. It was really good.
Yes,
See, that's something that's fun.
Austin St. John came back for that one.
Yeah,
he comes back for that. I still think it was a waste.
It was a waste, yeah. Like he was in like 2 scenes. It was so bad.
Again, I haven't seen that special, but I know what happens in it, and I haven't seen that series. Even though I like the idea of Beast Morphers because I love Go Busters, which is the Sentai is based off of. Which again, use every American term they could in the Japanese versions. There's Morphin Time, Megazords. All of that. And they never change any of the words to that stuff. And I was like, that's cool. And I just like the fact that the suits were really cool. I like the weaponry in that one. The freaking gold and silver Rangers are really cool in both variations.
And the bug theme for them looks so good.
Exactly. Yeah, their bug theme, their freaking Stag Beetle and freaking Hercules Beetle are really cool. I like a lot of the design work for Go Busters lends really well for an American season, and I think that's why they made it the way it is. which is not like how they dared America to try to redo Power Ranger Samurai, and then they wholly lifted every single Japanese term and words and names
And
to
plot.
them and plot. And I'm like, his name is what? Jade and Shiba? What? It's like, yeah.
That is so funny.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Samurai is nowhere as bad as Megaforce, man. Megaforce
Oh, I know, I hate it.
ball. Especially when they adapted Go Kiger. I was like, I love Go Kiger, man.
I don't like Sager. The one that is based off, like Megaforce is based off of. I don't like Go Sager. I just don't like it as a
Which
series.
one's the pirate one?
Go Kiger.
Go Kiger's like I know that I've watched that.
It's
I have
awesome.
watched Go Kiger, the Super Sentai, like because that was really fun.
Yeah.
That was a really fun show that did a lot of cool stuff for the anniversary, like like bringing old Ranger suits back and stuff. And like I was sitting there and I'm like, how did you mess this up so bad? Like because this show was awesome.
agree.
Yeah,
I
and
And I don't
agree.
watch any Super Sentai, but I watched that and
Captain
it was
Marvelous.
so good.
I love
Bro.
Captain Marvelous.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you.
I really like the spirit of the Red Ranger who's showed up before, and I'm like, I wish you were like a thing like more often.
Yeah.
Yeah, what were you saying?
I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I've been watching Sentai for like the past 2.5 years. Like, I'm trying to finish like at least 2 series, and I ended up enjoying Shoryuki Sentai Oranger.
Oh yeah,
Zio.
yeah.
Zio. I ended up enjoying that one, and then I got to watch it all for free on Pluto TV. Like it's ridiculous. And then I was watching. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Turbo Ranger in Japanese is just weird as hell.
Car
Yeah.
It is
Ranger.
weird.
Car Ranger.
Like yeah. Okay.
It's a comedy. It's like it's not meant to be a serious Sentai. It's a comedy
Oh
series.
god, it was great. But like, there was an episode where the Yellow Ranger was like, "I'm too fat. I gotta exercise," and then and she was just spent her day like not eating or whatever. And then she got mad about it, and her friends were teasing her about. It was so freaking bizarre, but I enjoyed it for what it was. But so if you guys want to see a whole bunch of Super Sentai for free, we'll leave a description in the link below. I'm just as well as Ultraman and Kamen Rider,
Love Kamen Rider.
because it's part of Pluto TV's Tokusatsu
Wait,
or
don't you-
Tokushatsu.
Don't you mean the Masked Rider?
I was gonna bring it up earlier. I was wondering who had the rights for the Masked Rider nowadays.
Let's look it up.
Fucking what's his name from Illinois? Whatever that guy.
That was another weird thing
Prince Rex?
that
That weird
like they
crossover.
backdoor piloted Masked Rider and Power Rangers,
And
and
then it
then
wasn't
retconned it out when Masked Rider
failed.
became. No, they retconned it out when Masked Rider became a TV show. Nothing
That's right.
that
when
happened-
Yep.
That's true.
nothing in Power Rangers actually happened in the Masked Rider TV show, and I felt like that was so silly. It's like, no, have more crossovers. And I don't know, man.
Like, you built it this way. You literally built a backdoor pilot in Power Rangers to bring this character to the States, and it worked. And then you literally threw away the freaking bathwater. It's like, what the? Why?
Yeah, it was that was such a stupid idea. Like,
I
it was
agree.
Yeah,
I
like
agree.
you could have kept that connection going. And I really did like Masked Rider, the TV show, for the most part. Like it, as a kid anyway. Like I remember
during the era. Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah.
man, watching it now, I tried to rewatch it because I got a hold of someone's old tape, and it's a spicy meatball. It makes the Mystic Knights of Trinagnog or whatever. Like it's better than that. Let's put it this way. But it's
Is it
But
better
the problem,
than tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills?
yes, I'm not even going to hesitate on that one.
or what's the other one? Super Samurai Cyber Squad.
Oh
No.
my god, I love that one.
Kicks some
Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad will still remain the top echelon below Power Rangers.
I
And
love
what was
that.
wait, and what was the last one? The one I'm forgetting besides that one, because I actually had the toys for Superhuman Samurai Squad or whatever it was.
VR Troopers.
VR
Troopers,
Troopers,
yeah.
that's it.
Which was
Yep.
supposed to be Tommy's show. Did you guys see the pilot for that?
Cybertron.
Cybertron.
Yep.
I loved
I
VR
love the pilot.
Troopers.
I love the pilot. Just seeing
Oh.
Tommy like out there thinking real hard about the stuff that he has to go through.
We're also forgetting Big Bad Beetleborgs with.
Oh my
gosh, yeah.
yeah, you're right.
There was a time when Big Bad Beetleborgs was had higher ratings than Power Rangers.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think-
man.
Yeah, I can probably say that will be under Power Rangers and then Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad.
I
I think it got canceled after Jay Leno found out that there was a fan fiction
Yeah.
flabber. There's a fan fiction version of him.
I doubt that made much of a difference. They probably just. I think the thing that happens with all fads is that when it goes, the network wants to scrap everything. That's like it, you know. It's like
I mean, when was Beetleborgs like taking place? Was it during the era of? Was it before or after In Space?
it was before In Space.
So it was on its way up because In Space was when when Power Rangers was sort of dying.
Yeah. So it was Beetleborgs happened right around the time Ninjas like it was still Mighty Morphin, but they had the ninja theme going on.
Oh, okay.
So it was
Yeah.
like right after the movie.
But VR Troopers lasted longer than Beetleborgs. I think Beetleborgs was. No, it didn't. 96, 97, 98. 3 years for Beetleborgs.
Yeah, VR Troopers did not last that long.
Yeah.
And VR Troopers lasted from 94 to 96.
Yeah, 2 years.
Listen,
2 years ain't bad for a kid show.
Do
Yeah.
you guys remember when the Power Rangers fought the Beetleborgs on the moon with no gravity?
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
oxygen?
Do you remember when they fought the Ninja Turtles?
No,
Yeah.
That's my
teamed up
favorite
with
episode.
them.
They fought them first.
They fought them, and then they teamed up, and then
Yeah.
they were mind controlled, and then they fought them again or something.
Yep.
Well,
That live action Ninja Turtles will live in infamy for how interesting it was.
It is an absolutely garbage TV show that it crosses over with one of the best seasons of the Power Rangers.
Yes.
It's
But
true.
But we do owe that series for the creation of Venus de Milo. Like that's the one good thing out of that show that now persists in the comic books. Venus de Milo is a character now.
I also heard that there is another female turtle
Yes.
that is actually named after an artist who's better than Venus de Milo
Yep,
because she
Jenica.
actually has character growth. Yes, thank you.
Yep. Jenica was created in the comics first, and then Venus de Milo shows up later in the series. But I love both their introductions are great. I love them both.
so yeah.
What's crazy is that if you mention a female turtle, most people are like, "She doesn't exist. She doesn't exist." No, and I'm like, it's not her fault. She was that bad. She was just written that way.
It was a poor series. It was a poor
Yeah.
series. and
I
a
think
poor-
most people would be
okay.
like, they would probably mention any other turtle from like maybe, I don't know about the 2003 or 2012 series. Maybe there's a female turtle in there somewhere.
No,
Like,
I can confirm that
Yeah, I can confirm too.
there's not.
there is
Correct.
not in
Or
the.
Not.
not-
That's
not
sad,
in-
man.
Yeah, only in the comics.
no.
Yeah.
It took them way too long.
Yeah. That's such a shame because like that show is not good.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There is a lizard type female character that exists, Mona Lisa.
Oh
has
yeah,
been
the alien. I remember that now. Yeah,
an alien in the 2012, and she was a mutant in the original 80s cartoon, and then shows up later on. But yeah,
She's
Real simple.
also in the
Real-
latest
real-
video game.
she's also in the latest video game, and we had a fox too. Apelex, I forget how you pronounce it.
Ooh, put a picture
Uh,
in the chat. I want to see.
I'll put it in there.
Yeah,
She's great. She mixed out with Raph.
nice.
Which one, comic book or from the 2012?
You put up
Oh,
both.
right.
I mean, the 2012 one is the one that. I mean, the original 2012 one is the one that made that connection and made that thing happen. The comic book is where it pretty much where it's now a solidified thing.
Wow.
The comic book is now full on furry. Like, I'm
Oh,
not gonna
yeah.
lie.
There's a mutant town. People are hooking up everywhere. Like this going on. Freaking people are having
IDW
relationships.
is doing the TMNT stuff now, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Freaking. They also have like a few crossover comics that exist right now. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover Street Fighter. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover with Stranger Things, which I found, which I thought was ridiculous. Now I'm like, that's an interesting combo because they both technically take place in the 80s, where turtles existed. So the original turtle drawings are the ones that are there. So like the old Eastman and Laird versions of the turtles are in that comic book.
You are correct.
I would say, bring this back around to Power Rangers. Has anyone read the Boom Studio Power Ranger comic books?
Oh yeah,
that's just. I know we were talking about Shattered Grid before, but like,
it's been. I'm not caught up. Like I literally fell off. I think 2 years ago to let it build up. But I did read. I did read everything up to past the Shattered Grid and some of the other titles that were going on right there. Like I read Solo the Dragon, written by freaking Jason and Frank. I read some of the other stuff that was happening, Kimberly's misadventures for 6 issues.
Yeah.
I don't know a ton about it, but I do know it took place. It does take place in the Mighty Morphin era, and there's some fun bits with other monsters and stuff. The only issue of it I ever read was with Sheeple.
Oh, yeah.
You should read it. It's it does its own thing. It's like a reimagining of the.
It is definitely a reimagining. It's like a retelling of the story, and then it deviates at a certain point to become its own thing.
So it's not just here are the in between stories.
No. Yeah, this is not this is what took place between episode 19 and 30. It's
okay.
Do you know how Jason, Trini, and Zach went to the peace conference? And actually, they didn't. They were going on a secret mission, and they become Omega Rangers, and it's a whole thing. It explains what they were doing, and it expands on the lore and adds a lot to it.
The comic book does give a lot of agency to a lot of characters who didn't before. So again, Kimberly gets a lot more showtime. Trini gets a lot more to do.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, they become much more staples and much more well-rounded characters. There's even a great twist that. You know how we lose the Green Ranger powers? The Green Ranger powers come back. I won't tell you how or why and who, but they're a thing that exists again, which is cool. There's even stuff that it plants the seeds for things that we know way later in the future. So if you were paying attention to again, you stopped watching the show during after the movie. So you remember after the series that came out after In Space.
That was Lost Galaxy.
Lost Galaxy. You remember what the plot of Lost Galaxy was before the monsters and all that stuff?
Weren't they trying to? I don't remember actually.
They were moving a colony.
Yeah, they were trying. They made colony ships to go into space so they could try to. Yeah, Terra Venture. Terra Ventures alluded to in the comics, well established in the comic series during the Mighty Morphin era.
Oh wow.
Because they were yes, these things existed because technically Mighty Morphin all the way up to into In Space and the Lost Galaxy and even Lightspeed Rescue are all still technically the same universe. All this stuff is happening in the exact same Earth. So technically those things are seeds of those things are planted well in advance. Even the Psycho Rangers are technically planted in advance.
Oh my god.
The Psycho Rangers, one of the best uses of evil Power Rangers before we got those lame assholes with the socks over their heads.
That's so funny.
Yes.
You know what's wild that you mentioned that? I want to say that the Psycho Rangers. Okay, so this is deviating a little bit, but Sailor Moon is technically supposed to be a girl version of Super Sentai, and there was a game that came out called Sailor Moon: Another Story. And they look Sailor Moon in this RPG has to face her alter ego that look exactly like the Psycho Rangers, but in sailor outfits.
Oh, sweet. Evil Sailor Earth or what?
Yeah.
For what is the opposite of a moon?
An eclipse?
Oh! That's pretty good.
Eclipse Sword. There you go. Eclipse Sword from fucking In Space is evil Sailor Moon.
Yep.
That's so
but
funny.
Speaking of the Psycho Rangers, talking a little bit about the action figures in Hasbro, man, did they kind of drop the ball with the Lightning Collection concerning the Psycho Rangers, because they released them individually or in 2 packs with other Rangers, and then as they were slowly trickling out Psycho Rangers, they were just kind of all right, with the last 2, F it, 5-pack. And it's wait a minute, what? You mean if I want to get the last 2, I gotta buy the other 3 again? What is this?
Yes, of course. Oh, look at those designs.
Right? And then like you compare them to the Psycho Rangers, they're kind of like
Yeah.
They look
I was
like
like-
Batman.
Yeah, a bunch of Batman.
They
Oh yeah,
look
the
like
Bat-
Batman. Oh my god.
the Batman who laughs. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but the colors change their personality.
Wait, so
I
Wait,
love.
what?
yeah. Do you guys think In Space is the best season of Power Rangers?
I think it ended up being one of the best seasons of Power Rangers just because only for if you know the whole story. Like if you know like the what is happening and what is happening behind the scenes, it technically makes it one of the best seasons of Power Rangers.
It saved the show.
Yeah.
It was
Set
supposed to be
controls to outer space.
I think it's pretty good. Again, going off of the last time I watched it, which was a while ago, but I'm trying to think of what else there was. Like RPM, certainly
Mhm.
you can
I
make an
love
argument
RPM.
for as RPM is
Ev-
probably the most adult Power Rangers ever got.
Yeah. Every
Um,
time Power Rangers is on the verge of getting canceled, they tend to put out like one of the best seasons ever because they're like, all right, well, we're gonna go out with a bang. So they throw everything, including the
It's
kitchen
true.
sink.
That's true.
It's true. Oh my gosh.
That is a level of like if you gave him this much money and a level to give a shit, like honestly, almost every Power Ranger season can possibly be like the best season that you'll ever see. But because of restraints and they don't. It's like it's a kid show. Don't worry about it.
I would say there's certain Dino Fury in the most recent episode really has a lot that feels like the original Mighty Morphin. It's a kid show with a capital K, but like when you go from the first half to the second half, it suddenly picks up a lot, and it turns out really. There's definitely some heavier bits in it. Not necessarily it doesn't get as adult as like RPM does, I still think that's the most adult Power Rangers has gotten. It doesn't even really get as adult as Beast Morphers does.
The
I
problem-
But
couldn't
it's-
get into those though. For whatever reason, I tried really hard. And
which
I couldn't.
one?
RPM.
No, that's fair.
Shut up. You're right.
RPM. The biggest flaw of RPM is that they copy from In Space with the Corona and Andros, and it's like the Black RPM Ranger with what's her name?
Yeah.
One of the villains.
From
beat
what I
for
understand,
beat.
that wasn't originally the plan, though, and I don't know. I don't know why they eventually wound up with that being the way it went. But I'm okay with it. It's like, you know what?
But the first time,
I've seen so many different stories about Batman's parents dying in an alley. Whatever. I can watch this again. It doesn't matter.
and
Like he told Raphael that one time.
yeah, and the advantage.
Bummer.
Just when my parents died, Raphael.
That's so funny. It hurts.
See, the advantage In Space had was that it wrapped up the Zordon era. Like those first 6 seasons of Power Rangers, it's like one big story. It's like its own thing with Zordon, and you get all the villains. They turn to dust, or they either turn good or they turn British at the
Or
end.
they turn back
Or they turn
years later.
Like
That's good. I'm still waiting for the answer to that one because I remember. Okay, so Zordon shattered and something happened, right? He turned everyone into good in the galaxy,
Yeah.
and then several years later, hey, Lord Zed's back. How? He turned good.
he turned British.
They do talk a little bit about that, where he's kind of remade or reconstituted. His staff shows up in Beast Morphers, where a bunch of enemies, prior Ranger enemies, are their like stuff is found, and it's a great excuse to do a clip show because it's plot relevant, and B, it's just fun because it's like you revisiting some of like your collectibles.
Right.
If it were like hey, we have Zed's staff, let's talk about Lord Zed. And like, hey, we found this guy's thing from this season. And I'm like, oh my god, I remember that thing. So it's the best version of a clip show I've seen done almost in anything, let alone Power Rangers. So I love that bit. And I also love the conclusion of like, hey, we should reconstitute Lord Zed. Let's not, because he wouldn't listen to us. He wouldn't. If we brought him back. So, but they do wind up doing that, or like cloning him or something along those lines.
So it's not the truth. It's not. It's the essence of Zed remanifested, just not the original Zed turned back. Yeah.
Okay, that makes so much more sense because I was like, wait a minute, they turned into like an Asian British family or something, and they were dancing, and
Yeah,
those were some times.
those were some times.
I mean, yeah, like freaking Tweety was saying, like I do love that it was a cap to the era of Power Ranger. Like this was supposed to be the last hurrah. Andros, taking the swing, and Zordon go like, "You gotta do it, man. You gotta kill me in order to save everybody." And I'm like, is it killing you? Because I remember it was telling me that you were like an interdimensional being, and only the tube is just making us talk to you. Like, no, you're killing us. Like, you're killing
releasing his essence. So it's a Z wave or whatever they call it.
And what's that dude's name again, Frisky? What's his Lumador or whatever?
Larigo.
Larigo. What the fuck? They Larigo fucking
Wait, can't we just kill Larigo?
Yeah. Because he's the one who took Zordon away from the interdimensional bullshit so he could be with his family or whatever.
Oh my gosh. I would love him to just go instead of Zordon. Because, let's just be real. Larigo was one of those trolls from Ernest Scares Stupid.
Yeah, he was a fucking puppet. That was just really bad.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I remember going I was like, why is he back in the tube? Where the fuck is Larigo? Where's it? Yeah. I thought he was supposed to be an interdimensional thing. Like he's supposed to. He exists between spaces, and this thing is just keeping him here so he can talk to him. That's what I remember.
Really vexing myself on this one to try and think of what my favorite season of the Power Rangers is. Now that I've revisited a decent amount of episodes of the show, I legit I know I've watched Dino Charge is kind of fun in the fact there's 11 Rangers in it. And I really enjoyed the hell out of Beast Morphers, and when Jason came back as the Red Ranger is like, "Hey, what's going on?" I'm like, "Oh, hey, it's the guy I really liked from." Listen, I was a Jason stan when Tommy came along. I was like, "No, Red Ranger forever." And then Rocky came in. I'm like, "Oh, never mind."
Ruined it.
Yeah, I don't want to be here anymore. But
I just want to play games.
Yeah, but it's I can't say with my whole heart and my chest puffed that Beast Morphers was the best. I can't say it for In Space either. Part of me wants to say SPD because I really like Doggy Kruger. I thought Doggy Kruger was awesome,
and I like the Red Ranger Kruger. Yeah, Doggy Kruger is one of the best mentor characters to exist. I like him a lot, and I like his American design a lot. Even his Sentai design is great too, but I like his American design just because he gets some dreads, and I'm like, those are great.
I spoke to a guy who worked on Doggy Kruger's American design because I was supposed to do a animation with a couple of people, and that never went through, and that's okay. But I got to see. He showed me his website, and he showed the molds for Doggy Kruger, the American version, versus basically the Japanese one is a kimono fursuit.
Freaking what was the Red Ranger called again in freaking SPD again? I forget his name.
I want to say Lance, but I know I'm wrong.
I'm on here.
Shit.
I got you.
Was it Brandon? No.
That's his real name.
Oh.
I know that. I know his real name is Brandon. I'm forgetting his name.
Which Ranger?
Jack. It's Jack. I remember now.
SPD Ranger.
Jack Landers.
Yeah, Jack Landers. Yeah, he is. SPD is great. I think we'll have to take it back. I think SPD is by far one of my favorite series. Mainly because I do love their suits. I love their upgrade suits, like the SWAT suits that they mentioned again. I love that they bring back the concept of evil Rangers again. Yeah. So the A Squad, they fight the A Squad in that series.
Oh, so good.
I love that Doggy Kruger's enemy is the last guy. He and they both go up against each other in the final battle, and he cuts off both his horns. He's like, "Yeah," and now you're arrested. And I'm like, "Yeah, awesome." He gets his wife back, and I love that Jack is one of those.
His wife's a cat, right?
No, his wife is another dog person, like him. Cat Minx is another character in there who's
she gets to be a ranger too.
She gets to be a ranger. That dude from the future becomes a ranger. Yeah. The that girl that shows up for half a second, like, I'm also from the future. I'm like, oh, you're great.
Oh my god!
And-
Like I will say this, of going back to like again to Lightning Collection for a second. They knew how good SPD was because in one of the first waves, Doggy Kruger right there, like absolutely had to be one of the figures they made. And that's a brilliant looking figure.
It
That's
looks
a brilliant
fucking
looking
fantastic.
suit. Yeah,
And I love his regular suit, like the regular SPD suit is fantastic, and I love his morph suit. I love that suit, like freaking Shadow Ranger,
yeah.
like with a 100 on it. It's such an iconic fucking look. And it's striking. I like it a lot. Then they try to do that again with what the hell it's called again in the Sentai Q Ranger or whatever when they have the dragon dude.
Yeah, bro. These box sets are so cheap. You can get SPD, Dino Thunder, Mystic Force, $38, all on Amazon, complete.
Damn.
So, like, that's huge.
That is huge.
Buy
And
your media now. Buy your media now.
That's why I like Jack so much as a Red Ranger, because he always knew he wasn't going to be there forever as a Ranger, and I like that as an idea for kids. Like, it's one of those great moments that Jack's the best Red Ranger, but he knows his future doesn't lie with this one thing that you may be in love with now. Like, you have to let something go in order to find your true passion, and that's a really good like acknowledgement as a character. Like, later on when he's no longer the Red Ranger and he gives it to homeboy who's the Blue Ranger. I forget the guy's name, but he was in Star Trek Discovery for like 2 episodes. I remember that.
That's funny.
But Walter Jones was on Space Cases,
right? But
we love that.
It's freaking. It's great that he gives that up to do charity work and try to help out those more disenfranchised to him. But the Yellow Ranger, I'm forgetting her name in the freaking series too.
Sky.
But god damn it,
or Z?
Huh?
Z.
Yeah, Z. Like, she stays in the Rangers because she knows she found her passion. Like, she found what she wanted to do with her life. And I'm like, that's cool. I like that. Those are great messages.
Man, it's a great show.
It was a great cast. Great cast.
Yeah. I think another one that hangs up there is Time Force.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
I recently watched a made-for-TV sci-fi movie with the guy who was what's the Omega Ranger, the other.
Oh, yeah, freaking the Quantum Ranger. Yeah,
Quantum Ranger, yes. Like he was in because he's actually a really good martial artist.
Oh yeah.
Like really impressive. So they're in this like almost parody level like have to go fight some robots in a military sim where he's the like martial arts edgy like Jet Li character who has to go out, who goes and fights the enemy with martial arts as opposed to like guns like everybody else in the mercenary squad. But it's great because he's in the finale like kung fu fighting robots.
Wow.
And it's like, it's like you never left.
he's Magnus robot fighting all over these people, or Kashurn. Freaking, I love that dude.
It's like how do you have so much experience fighting robots? Like, listen, when I was a teenager,
I've been through some stuff. I rode a giant, quantum fucking dinosaur once. You ever heard of Silver Guardians? That's me, baby.
Listen, man.
Y'all
Time
are
Force had a
funny.
good romance. Wes and Jen.
Yep.
They had that chemistry. And
To be honest,
you never see them kiss. You never see them kiss.
Bro, you only like that because you're into Degrassi, and that's like the drama that you needed from Time Force. Shut up.
To be honest, I think I like
why
their.
are you hating on Degrassi? What did Degrassi do to you?
I'm just being mean to him. That's all.
Drake in a wheelchair. That's what it did.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But to be honest, I think freaking fucking Time Force handling of Wes and freaking what's her name again?
Jen.
Huh?
Jen Yoko. That's her name. Jen.
But yeah.
All right. Yeah, they're. I like their pairing a lot more than Andros and freaking whatever her name is in freaking In Space.
Okay, to be fair, you are correct because it bothered me.
You saying those two are in love? Ashley and Andros, tale as old as time.
Listen, man.
They like each other in the way that you like somebody in high school, which is fine.
It's like, I like you too.
Are you saying
I'm gonna give you a hug? I'm never gonna see you again.
I felt like Ashley and Andros felt like oh my gosh, we have to go to prom, but there's no prom on Earth. We're in space. It's like it just felt like
KO 35, baby.
AO-35.
Oh my god! I don't know. It wasn't my favorite ship.
Are you
Yeah.
saying Cassie and the Phantom Ranger had more chemistry than Andros?
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that so much as I am. I feel like that everyone was trying to do the next Tommy and Kimberly.
Yeah,
That's
and-
what it felt like with both of them.
Maybe.
Which kind of
More
sucks.
so than
Like it
anything.
only started to work when they just stopped trying to make it work. If that makes any sense. Like obviously, like West and Jen, that was core to that storyline, but it in no way were they trying to recreate the magic of Kimberly and Tommy. It was a whole new kettle of fish because it was like, oh, my husband died and you look just like him. How I don't know how to feels.
And then
That's
that said husband comes back and is a jerk.
Yeah,
Dun, 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 dun.
because apparently time has changed and things are different in the future because of what they've done in the past. So he's back and he's alive, but he's also like a huge asshole.
Huge
So it's like-
asshole now.
Yeah, it's like, what happened? Like, I'm glad you're alive, but you're such a dick.
She's like, ugh, I never. Did you slick your hair back? It's like, yeah, I've always done this. I don't remember you slicking your
I don't
hair back.
remember you looking like that when we were dating. Like that.
Yeah,
Like,
I
it's
don't-
like, I've always looked like this. It's like, oh,
I do have to say, Time Force is also one of those series that I like a lot because when you get to understanding the villains, it becomes really good.
yeah.
I love freaking whatever the fuck the main bad guy from freaking Commando. I forget that.
Yeah.
He's from freaking Commando. I love that dude. I forget what his name is in
think it's Ransik?
Power Rangers. Yeah, Ransik.
Ransik,
Yeah, freaking
yeah.
he's great. Bone fucking knives and shit. I'm like, I love this dude.
Like a fucking Naruto villain pulling
Yeah.
bone swords out of himself.
Bone swords out of his goddamn thing. But I love him and understanding. Oh yeah, mutants were fucking a mistreated race in the future. I was like, oh, that's fucking interesting. And then. But then the fucking robot that he has to be a spinster, his freaking like his lackey, is like, I used to be a man, and then he killed me. I'm like, oh shit.
He just reminds me of. Did you guys ever see the Fist of the North Star American live action?
Yeah,
No. What?
I've seen that. Yeah,
Yeah.
you didn't know about this? Yeah.
So that's what he reminds me of, like a costume character from that. I will send you a link, my friend Al.
All right.
Like,
Yeah, there was once a Fist of the North Star live action movie that
Hold
came
on.
out years ago.
I know that, like, is it, and it's an American live action movie?
It's not a Japanese live action
Oh my
movie.
God,
It is
that's
an American
Crazy.
made.
How the hell? Why? And like,
Someone had the rights for it.
Why not?
is this like Money Plane levels of
Mm,
Money laundering?
Okay.
What do you guys
It's,
think
it's
of-
better than Money Plane.
It looks better than Money Plane. Okay. All right.
Yes, looks better than Money Plane.
All right.
I'll give you a preview, but the whole movie's on YouTube. So
Gotcha. All right.
What do you
Like,
guys
I just
think?
want to see. Like, I don't want to. I'm not going to watch the whole trailer right now, but I will. I just want to see vaguely what it looks like.
it's the punching part that gets you.
Gotcha. All right. I will check this out in my own time. And
Yes.
report back with my findings.
It's
I
just-
guess.
Yeah, it just feels like he belongs in a Fist of the North Star type of.
You're not wrong. You're not
Yeah.
wrong.
Do you guys remember when Lord Zed and Rita had a kid and came back?
No,
Oh,
The
He shows
15th
up-
They're back
anniversary.
to Overdrive. All right.
no,
You don't
It was an
remember?
overdrive, right?
no.
Oh, we need a
Refresh my
picture.
memory.
We need to get a
Yeah.
Yeah,
picture.
so
of it.
his
What the heck
broke-
was his name?
I forget. I literally forget what its name was.
But it was their son,
it's
and he looked.
its name.
stupid.
Drax. His name is Drax.
That's even a bad name for their
Yeah,
child.
Thorax. That's a terrible name.
Like
I'm gonna-
Anthrax.
Yep.
I'm gonna put it in the chat for Yoko.
Ew.
Yo,
Yeah,
this
he was in
design
Operation
is
Overdrive. You're right. He was in the second when Adam shows back up. Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe I can-
Because that was when Johnny Young Bosch came back with a bunch of other Rangers
Yep.
from
Different
the
series.
past, and that was the best part of the series.
And that's where the Green Ranger from SPD shows up as the Red Ranger.
yeah.
About to say, when did they take time to take care of this baby?
Again, no clue, because the implications of this child also don't make any goddamn sense.
No, they
Why
don't.
does he look like a 50-year-old?
And they
Like,
they
did they-
conceived him before the Z wave. Is that
A
what
pair?
Like, is that what happened? Where like she
Off
got
screen?
preggers, and then the Z-Wave happened, they were good, and then but like the seed of evil was already planted, and it's like, I guess you could somehow make that argument, but it's like I don't know how that even works.
Why does he have Lord Zed's chastity belt from the mouth on his crotch? I'm
He
very.
does have that on his crotch.
He's got a terrible underbite on the other side of his mouth that you don't see in this photo.
This is a horrible design.
It's
terrible
awful.
design.
It looks
It's a
like
terrible
actual
design.
crap.
There's
Yeah.
like honestly, there's nothing to indicate like Rita like well in him. Like there's nothing
He's got his
really good. Like
sass.
he got his dad's staff and his dad's look basically.
He got Rita's
But-
sass and
God
Oh,
damn abs.
yes. Yeah, whatever. I guess he got his mom's abs. But yeah, he's a terrible fucking villain.
Yeah.
Like in terms of like just look and design. I'm like, you should have done anything else, man.
If
Yeah.
I
You
watch,
should have brought back the freaking the Machine Empire. That would have been cool.
You could have done it again because we did it once, twice. Third time would have been the charm.
Yep.
Yeah.
they should have brought back Rito Raposa.
Yeah, Rito Raposo, man.
Yeah.
The brother.
They could have had they had a Robo Rita. Oh, sorry, that's a spoiler. Anyway,
I saw that in the preview. So
okay.
Terrible. Terrible.
It was great.
You guys just make me want to finish up some of the shows for Rangers I was watching.
But
I definitely think that you should probably visit some of the shows we just talked about. Like, I think there's a lot that holds up, especially in what we were saying, like SPD, Time Force.
I never finished SPD, and I was into it, and I never reached the end.
Yeah, I 100% freaking wholeheartedly say, like, if you're gonna watch one of it, finish a series of those. SPD is one of the ones I would say finish.
One episode, like I've seen at least one episode from every season except Dino Fury, but the other one, I've never seen an episode of Mystic Force. It just never.
I've seen episodes of Mystic.
That's
where it dropped off.
It's fine, I think. I mean, again, from the few episodes I saw of it, I never sat down and watched the show.
Yep.
I can't say I did that, but it looked fine. I don't know.
I like the costumes. I like the capes.
Yeah.
I like the show. Like, I know the show gets better, but it is the series that I sort of fell off of because I wasn't too keen on the suits at first. You know, the capes weren't really selling it to me, and and also the theme song was one of those things that I'm like, okay, I'm not really digging this theme song.
Yeah, a lot of
the rap game was not there for me on that one.
I will say, I know we were talking about it earlier, but like, I actually really like Jungle Fury a lot.
See, it's a good one.
I like that
he's good.
show.
Karma Pizza. They're making
Yeah, it's probably
pizza.
good. It is based off of one of my favorite, like Super Sentai series. I love Geki Ranger. Like, it's really cool. I like
And
that
I
series
love
a lot.
the villain in that series too.
I like the villain in the Sentai version, and from what I've seen of him in the American version, I'm like, that seems interesting.
Yeah.
Like, he's cool. I like him. I've always liked the design. That freaking lion fucking like suit he got.
Right?
Really cool.
I love, for whatever reason, I love the concept of like the black lion.
Yep.
Like that gold and black accent color with those themings always just kind of hit a sweet spot for me. It's one of the reasons I really love like some of the this is getting very Transformers-y, but like I love
It's your thing.
Yeah, I love the Nemesis Prime.
Oh, hell yeah.
Leo Primes or like with that gold black
Combo,
lion.
the freaking like Nemesis version of that. Freaking awesome. I
Yeah.
love
Oh, it looks so cool.
Convoy.
Yeah. Speaking
Freaking-
of black and gold, I think an underrated design is the Gold Ranger from Zeo. Like, he got the
Oh,
staff,
fantastic! Yeah, I agree.
Pyramidas. Even his theme song is like dope. It's like,
How does theme song go again? Go Gold Ranger?
Yeah.
Was it?
I know.
Gold Ranger.
Was it? Shit, I completely forgot.
I have all of the music. The Juan Russerman did like a tour for the anniversary from 2017, and he redid all of the openings, and the best ones were like the originals to me.
All of his
Like,
music is peak Power Rangers. Like,
Yep.
I still listen to it from time to time. Like
Go
call the
Green
541.
Ranger.
I love that song.
Oh,
Or fight.
Freaking 541 is really good.
hope for the world.
Hope for the world,
for
yeah.
the world.
Or even the In Space theme goes hard. The Turbo theme
Yeah.
goes hard.
I still say
God damn it! Back to the movie. Why wasn't Wasserman's soundtrack all over that?
Because they save money.
They wanted Van Halen, damn it.
But they didn't save money. Van Halen was what cost them money.
Oh, yeah, freaking We Need a Hero. I Will Win is freaking a great song for freaking Juan Rasserman. All that stuff.
Because we're dreaming of a
Yes.
time. So
You know,
good.
there's a like a Power Ranger game that came out. Not the fighting game, but there's a Metrovania Power Ranger game that came out that long ago. Like where you're like, or like you were going. It's a side scroller. It's a side scroller. I forgot what the hell the name is.
Was it for
But
the Advance?
It was on the PlayStation. It was on PlayStation 4 and shit before the PS5 came out. I bought it on the PSN, and you can play. There's some Megazord battles in there, and you can play as them regular. If you get it's like the old school Power Ranger game that you collect enough lightning bolts to transform. And I love that game. I remember I like turned off the music. Even it had good music, but I turned off the music and I was just playing Ron Rasserman's like soundtrack over and over again as I was beating up buddies and fighting Lord Zed at the end of it.
Yeah,
But it's fucking fantastic. It's freaking great. Shit, what was I gonna say? I was gonna bring up something. Oh yeah, the one theme song that I do enjoy a lot. I love In Space. In Space is a great theme song. The original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is a great theme song. I still love Lightspeed Rescue. It is one of my favorite Power Ranger theme songs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Power Rangers,
And controls.
Oh my god.
No, that's In Space.
Game.
No, it's fine. No, I know what I'm doing. I'm linking them all together.
Ever before.
I will say, like Lightspeed Rescue has. I really love that toy line, or not the toy line, the Megazord for that, where they had like the trains.
Yes.
Like
the game for Nintendo 64
with
sucks.
the vehicles
balls,
and the
though.
trains.
It sure does.
And
It was also for the PlayStation.
Lightspeed was one of the great ones because I want to introduce an American created Six Ranger.
Yep.
The
That Platinum
Silver.
Ranger, right?
The Platinum Ranger, yeah. The Silver Ranger? Was he a Silver Ranger? I thought it was Platinum.
I thought he was Platinum as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck! I forgot.
Whatever.
Oh, titanium.
Whatever, Platinum,
Titanium
Silver,
power.
like, you know.
You're right, Titanium Power. It's a Titanium Ranger.
Titanium, that's it. Yeah.
But it's, I
You're
love his...
all wrong.
We're all wrong. But I love that. I love that, he also suffered the Tommy thing that if you use too much power, you're going to lose it or die or something. Like, I love that. I love that his origin story makes no sense. Like, it's like, oh yeah, one day the captain or the general of freaking Lightspeed was driving off a cliff with his daughter and his newborn son, and then the ghost of the bad guy he's sealed away in freaking whatever the place is called again. And he's like, if you give me the baby, you'll live. He's like, all right, take the baby. And
Oh my gosh.
It just disappears, and then years later, the older son shows back. I was like, you gave me away. It's like, listen, I was hanging off a cliff. I had to save your sister. He's like, I understand, Dad.
Yeah.
I love that series.
It's a really weird origin story where like it is this like let's abdicate him of anything because it's like it's here. Either give me the baby or you all die. Like the kid's gonna die anyway. Give him to me. It's like, all right, I guess that makes sense, but like also that's so weird. Yeah.
That's so weird. Aren't you trapped under a fucking rock or something? Don't worry about that.
Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
Don't worry about it. It's like, and then they all break out and escape. But I love Carter Grayson as one of the Red Rangers. I love his ass. His one thing is to punch everything. I'm like, I love you, man. You're fucking integrated.
Carter just Carter will shoot, punch, and drop kick the monster.
Punch, drop kick the monster. That's all. That's how you deal with monsters and terrorism. Like, I love that. Dude.
Okay, y'all. I gotta ask.
Cowboy Pilot. Sorry.
No, it's all good. I gotta ask before we wrap this up. What are the top 5 Power Rangers you would suggest to the audience? Top 5.
Oh, series?
Like,
Yes.
Series?
Yeah.
I think we kind of went over a lot of this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but like name 5, like bang
All right,
bang boom.
I'm gonna ask the question: are we individually, or are we collectively getting 5 seasons?
I want you. Well, what would be faster?
I think collectively, I think we'll be faster.
Yeah,
All right.
let's repeat ourselves.
Okay.
We're gonna overlap a lot of these.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask, like, do we genuinely believe, as much as we
Let's just give one
love
apiece.
and fell in love? What's that?
We'll just name one apiece, and we'll probably agree anyway.
Yeah. What were we gonna say?
I was gonna say, I was gonna ask the question of, like, would we still, in today's day and age, recommend Mighty Morphin, or do we feel like that,
Too much of a throwback at this point.
it's too, it hasn't aged fantastic. Like,
No, it doesn't. It hasn't.
like, I'm curious if
I
we feel
would-
that's true or if we feel it's wrong.
I'll
Any
advocate
kid could watch
I'll
it and still
advocate
love
for
it.
this. I think you can watch certain episodes, like the big ones, like Green with Evil, or the Power Transfer, or just the one when Lord Zed like shows up. Like you don't have to watch the whole series.
There
but
are
you can make
nitpicks in there,
you
sure.
can make
I would say for now, honorable mention will go to the original series because I do believe it would be one of those shows that you should watch because there are some stuff in there that that like Frisky said, like would be great to watch. The Green People, all those things. That one episode when Tommy goes back in time to the Renaissance era and then has to like leave a copy of himself.
Oh man.
So when Kimberly goes back in time and meets the Wild West Rangers, and then you go like, wait, Zordon. Then you wake up later, it's like, don't worry about it. We were active even in the cowboy times, and those 3 kids from Stone Canyon were here too. Don't worry about it. Shut up.
God, I loved that episode. That was actually one of my favorites.
And of course, when that's the same as too much pink energy is dangerous.
Hashtag Barbenheimer.
Yeah, those episodes, like there's certain episodes in the original series that can still be watched without all the context that you need to watch there. I still say there's like during the Green Evil episodes were some of the best Jason episodes to me when he's fighting freaking Goldar inside of that freaking cage for like 3 episodes. You're like, well, how's Jason gonna get out of this one?
Yeah, man.
Like it's freaking. There's some great stuff in there. There's some good stuff.
Right.
And you want to be introduced to our greatest heroes of all time, Bulk and Skull. You need some of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I would say honorable mention goes to the Mighty Morphin era. In terms of like 5, and I'll still say yes, SPD will be one of those top 5 that I would recommend to people.
I agree.
Yes.
Yeah, SPD was so good. We went on at length about how much we loved SPD. But the design of the costumes alone, it was
so sleek, so smooth. I love their helmet designs. And the freaking the stylized numbers on them, fucking great.
In space.
In space?
In space.
Mm-hmm.
Can you watch In Space having no context though? I'm just curious. Like, have you? Because I
don't know.
Yeah,
that's true. In Space does need a level of context through the Mighty Morphin era into Turbo, into In Space. So you need some context to know. But again, this is top. Like we're saying, top.
I'm pretty sure. Like, listen, I'm sure you could Google or Wikipedia a little bit and be like, "All right, I'm ready for In Space," and then just go in. I think you'd be.
So
fine.
I would say I still say If it's a series that you want to watch from the beginning to end, In Space is still a solid one. So that's 2.
Yeah, you can't beat the Psycho Rangers.
Hell no.
Yeah.
I'll vouch for RPM.
You'll vouch for RPM. All right, so that's 3.
What about Time
RPM
Force?
has a lot of good stuff going for it, and like I would say, trying to think, like I think that it's good because it has the most to do with characters that aren't just the Red Ranger in it, because you gave a major character arc to the Black Ranger.
Everybody's fleshed out, including the mentor, like Professor Doctor. Was it Dr. K?
Dr. K.
Dr. K. Yep.
She's awesome. She's an awesome character.
And of course, they had one of the greatest questions of all time. They were like, "Why does the giant robot cars have big eyes on them?" Dr. K likes it. Shut up.
They're windshields.
All right. What's one you give?
I would say Beast Morphers. Like
Beast Morphers.
I would definitely say that because that was a show out of like whimsy. I don't know what it was. Because I had not gone back to or kept up with a lot of the shows especially since Samurai. Not really. I think I went back watching these shows since Beast Morphers, but I just sat back. I put that show on, and I had such a great time with it. It references so much from Ranger history that you can have such fun with. I like all of the Ranger dynamics. There's characters in it that actually have a relationship. It's not just are they gonna date? Like, no, we're gonna get there, and like it's gonna be what it's like. You're gonna see how that kind of complicates in a work environment or whatever. Like, we're still not gonna kiss because we're a kid show, and apparently you can't do that for whatever reason.
Can't do it for whatever reason.
It's just not Christian.
Yeah, like, yeah.
Yeah, kicking, punching, doing all these things, perfectly fine. This is how we solve our disputes. But kissing.
There's a robot in that who believes that the guy who made him is his brother, and like
not his dad. That's like the funniest thing. He's like,
that's so
you're my bro. Like, you made me and shit, but we're brothers, right? We come from the same.
Because you used your DNA to make me, so it's like we're brothers.
Just like a father and son. Like, but you're just like, I'm just a little version of you. But we're coming to the same club, and I'm your little bro, big bro, whichever you want to be.
Yeah, and he's such a goober. It's so great. I love him just showing around, just like he's experiencing everything for the first time. It's like, I get to own a succulent. Like, this is just the coolest thing ever. This is like he just owns a plant and he thinks it's so badass.
That's great, man. That's instilling a good moral standard to people watching this. Except for, again, it's like, we're bros.
My favorite episode involving that dynamic is absolutely when since his brother isn't really into basketball, he's kind of more of a martial arts to scientist guy, so he's not great at sports and other things, and he doesn't want to do certain activities. So when he doesn't want to hang out and do science stuff, it's like, I don't want to do these things because I'm not good at them. You don't understand, robot brother. It's like, wait, what?
You don't understand, Robo bro?
You're not good at basketball? I'm sorry. I didn't realize you weren't doing these things because you didn't enjoy them. I just thought you were just great at everything, bro.
Oh, that is so sweet.
And it's just because he just looks at him like, you made me, so that means you're just amazing and you could do anything you want. It never crossed my mind you didn't want to play sports or go-karting because you were bad at them. Oh,
that is so wholesome, though.
It is wholesome, but that's your dad. That's the way you look at your dad. That's not the way you look at your brother.
That's not the way you look. He's like, oh man, I thought because you were here first and you did so much, experienced so much. Like a father, you'd be so great. I thought my dad loved baseball. I thought you just didn't do it. Whatever. Yeah. It's so funny.
But I cannot get over that. But I guess I get why they wouldn't do it that way or play it that way, because I guess it get a little bit weird. It's like, hey dad, it's like he's 17.
That's true. That's true.
All right.
You want to do a kid show, and you got to modernize it for children to be like, who would you understand better, an older brother or your dad being with you as a Power Ranger?
Yeah. Makes sense. But it's like, oh man. But I love that bit,
and then you had the father show back up, and he's like, I'm Leopold. I forgot what the fuck his name is. I forget a lot of these people's names. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, that's fine. With what was it? Not Dino Fury. Dino Charge. There were 11 Rangers. It's fine.
Yeah, that was a lot.
In Mystic Force, you had the Red Ranger's freaking father, who was the enemy, who comes back and becomes a Ranger again. And he's also a Red Ranger with a sword and shield. He's awesome.
Hey,
I like this a lot. 12. Q Ranger has 12 Rangers, and they're never adapting that. That show's never coming here.
Oh.
But what would I say? I'm on the fence. I really want to say for the fifth one, to watch or a series to watch would be Lightspeed, because I love Lightspeed so much. And you can watch that standalone. It doesn't need to be attached to any other series.
Absolutely. You can just watch.
Yeah, you can just watch it alone. Another one I want to say Dino Thunder, only because I like the dynamic between the enemy freaking what's his name, Megazord. What is it again? Mazagon. Yeah, I love him as a bad guy, and I love his son, who becomes a White Ranger, who becomes their variation of Tommy.
Yeah.
But those are really good standouts of good structure, good show storylines that are really good. but I'm like leaning towards more freaking like Lightspeed just because I like that show so much.
Shout out to Ninja Storm because we didn't say anything about Ninja Storm.
I was gonna say Ninja.
Yeah,
Had a
Ninja
great theme
Storm.
song.
I
Great
was
theme
gonna say,
song.
yeah, deep in the jungle or deep in the forest. You know, there's a secret school of ninjas.
Was that the one with the hamster?
Yes,
Yeah, that
yes.
was the one with the hamster. Yeah.
Oh god, I hated him. That was a good show. I did like that
His
one.
son who becomes a fucking, you know, I'm a ninja samurai with guitar hero, yeah. I'm like, I like him too. Cam, I like him too. I like Ninja Storm,
Samurai
but the only
Ranger is dope.
but the only reason I don't put it up there as a show to watch all the way through is because it doesn't. The bad guy isn't that great.
No, he's not.
I like him. He's silly as fuck, but he isn't that great or memorable as a bad guy.
Dang.
Like, so yeah, freaking ninja. What do you say, samurai? You like samurai?
I would say the same thing about Lightspeed. Unfortunately, is the bad guys aren't as memorable as you would want them to be. In like,
You're right.
Yeah.
I like when the son becomes like fully grown and the bad guy's pretty cool. I love also it's like one of the first crossover episodes actually happens in freaking
Yeah, you're right.
like cross it has like freaking what the fuck is it called again? Lost Galaxy and Lightspeed Rangers are the first time they cross over. Like the first time we had a crossover episode at all.
Oh,
It's really good.
In space crossover with Lost Galaxy, and Kendricks died. They killed her.
You're right.
Sure did.
You're right. You're right. That's when
She
we
had
did some character
leukemia.
death.
And that's one of the best consequences in the show to happen. Like Kendrick does die. She comes back later, but for the time she was dead. Dead.
We
And it was
thought
really-
she was gone.
She thought she was gone. Her floating spirit with a sword in hand is like, I'm dead.
And they saw Astronema take her place, which was dope.
Yeah, that's actually one of the best inclusions of a villain turned into a hero.
Yeah.
Next to Eclipsor, who fucking dies for the trouble of it.
That's so funny.
Poor Eclipsor.
Poor Eclipsor. He turns like at the tail end. He's like, yeah, I'm a good guy now, and then still the wave disintegrates him.
Yeah.
I will say about the Z Wave, they had a lot of cast changes over the years because, it was inevitable. But, I think having Tommy be the one to destroy Zordon's tube at the end would have been way more meaningful than Andros. Because Andros doesn't know who Zordon is. They have no relationship.
Remember, everyone knows Zordon, no matter what.
Everybody does.
He knew Zordon before Tommy did, apparently.
Exactly. And remember, because he was in space helping out those space rangers that exist in that other planet. And of course, like Zordon has plans within plans within plans. That's why a lot of people have morphers. Zordon gave him out there. Remember the giant freaking tiki head or whatever? He's like, yeah, I was a backup plan for Zordon.
Did it? Oh.
Freaking, I'm sure Zordon left the freaking blueprints for the morphing grid with Lightspeed Rescue. It's like, here you go, just in case. Just in case.
Gosai, right? His secret apprentice.
Yeah, Gosai, secret apprentice. Freaking, he leaves an Alpha 5 for everyone just in case.
And he has a backup command.
Yeah.
He has a backup.
I love the backup command center.
A backup command center to another backup command center just in case of another backup command center gets blown up.
So let me get this straight.
But that's the case.
So let me get this straight. The command center blows up, and they have a better one built underneath.
Well, I don't know if I would call it a better one.
A better one.
Another one. Yeah, because it didn't look as cool as the first one. Let's be real.
No, it's a backup with more shit in it because they have to make it have more shit because they only were working with human technology at the time. When you look at this sleek, just a circular command center with glowing buttons from the Star Trek Enterprise and a viewing globe. That's alien shit, man. That's all compact, easy to manage.
Yeah.
Every command center since then, it's just like, look how bulky we have to make this. Levers, knobs, switches. Ugh.
I mean, we have an actual TV screen. Obviously, absolutely. The backup command center felt like a backup command center.
Yeah, the original one just floating in the void. It's just there's nothing there. The new one, there's a place for our suits. Who wants that?
And I guess that's where they made the turbo powers, because I guess the Zeo powers weren't good enough, so they had to switch to
I really wish there was at least one mention, throwaway line that said, "Oh yeah, the turbo powers are made from the Zeo powers," and I would have been like, "Cool, that's it."
There's a fan theory that Billy would disappear during Zeo, and that was to like throw people off on guessing who the Gold Ranger
Who the
was.
Gold Ranger is, yeah.
But the fans think Billy was off making the turbo powers whenever he would like disappear, and it kind of makes sense. But it also, like, why is that weird old ship in the Turbo movie? Why does it have car key holes in it? Like, what the fuck?
Because Billy has a sense of flair. He has a sense of the dramatic. He's like, you know what I love? Science and boats.
It's like if
Like,
it was,
I don't know, science and old shit. That's why he still has the bug, like that freaking Volkswagen. He just loves old shit.
Who put the boat there? Billy made the boat? I don't know.
Yeah, Billy made the boat. He loves old antique bullshit.
Yeah.
Let's wrap.
Or, every time he was like going off to like hide away, he was making a phone call to freaking Aquatar or whatever to be like, hey, remember, I have a girlfriend, quote unquote.
Straight.
Gave him
Totally
a taste of the
straight.
hot gays.
I really wish in this once in future he'd be like, no, I have a partner now. Like his name is David or some shit, and be like, oh, cool, that's all we need. That's all we need.
Or we have like an Aquatar baby.
He's an Aquatar partner. His name is Aqua David.
Oh my god.
Aqua David.
Just Aqua David. Just like just don't we don't have to make any like mention to it. I mean, he's coming back now. I'm gonna be like, I don't know what you're doing on the show. Are you the Zordon, Billy? Is that what's going on?
Yeah. All right.
And there's fifth one up in the air. Power Ranger Samurai, because how well they dealt with Japanese culture.
Oh God, Samurai. That's the worst Red Ranger in fucking history. Or is it Troy from Megaforce? I don't know.
Both of them. They're both
No,
equally.
everything is the worst in Megaforce. We have
Both
to be
equally
real here.
bad.
Troy
As Red
no
Rangers go,
charisma.
Jaden and that motherfucker, they're both terrible.
I remember when Jaden said, "I am the Red Ranger." I'm like, that's the best take they had? Jesus Christ. Get the fuck out.
I just love, again, they hopefully lifted a plot point from the Japanese version. Go like, Jaden, you're not the real leader of the clan. She is. He's like, wait a second, what's going on here? He's like, yes, we made it in a point that if you die, it's for the best because you're just a straw puppet.
And
I'm like,
that was such a mean, like not even to the main character, but like it felt so bad for everyone in that like final scene because like it's why would you leave? Like it's really weird, and also it feels bad that like everyone kind of is not a big fan of her, even though. And then what?
It's not her fault.
Yeah, not only that, but like what she does doesn't even work, and he has to come in and save the day anyway. And it's like, what is this? Who's Walt Flanagan? And I'm just
Wow.
Yeah, it's such a weird thing. I will give it up though. That freaking what's his name? Medina some shit. The guy who played freaking
Cole Young.
What his name?
He played Cole in Wild Force.
Yeah, Cole from Wild Force. Yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah, Cole from Wild Force gets to play one of the coolest looking villains in a while. Like that, like as for design work, that's a cool ass design.
all right. So, as a bit of a disclaimer, because we're talking about him, that actor whose name unfortunately escapes me, he was Cole in Wild Force, and he played the villain in that one.
Rick Medina.
Yes.
Yeah. Did unfortunately go to prison for manslaughter. The situation is not that he just out and out murdered another human being. He had gotten in an altercation with his roommate. He tried to leave the situation, locked himself in his room. His roommate burst in through his door to continue to have like an actual physical fight. And somewhere in the middle of that, he killed the guy with one of his replica swords he had in his room. It was deemed that he used excessive force in self-defense. So talking about the situation as best as can be said, and also giving him as much credit in that situation as possible. Obviously, none of us were there. But
you sure it was him or wasn't someone?
No, it was him. No, it was him.
No, it was
Ricardo Medina Jr. I finally remembered his first name. But voluntary manslaughter. It was between him and his roommate. He has been released. He's been released since 2020.
Yeah. He didn't spend a lot of time in jail, and again, it seemed like there was an extenuating circumstance that led to it. It's very unfortunate that it happened, but
Yeah.
it's hard not to. Yeah, it's hard not to bring up oh man, he was this really cool sword villain in this thing. We're not
He murdered someone with a sword. Yes.
yeah, he didn't. Yeah.
Thoughts and prayers. Anywho, we've been going at it for almost 2 hours. Just one more quick thing. Since Power Rangers is basically made to sell toys, what was your favorite childhood toy growing up?
Like as a whole or Power Ranger related?
I was gonna say I
as a
had
whole.
a sweet Batman one.
As a whole.
But
all right. So you got a Batman one? What was cool?
I was gonna say you said what's your favorite toy? I had a sweet Batman animated series toy that had the freaking the aqua stuff. They go out in the water and shit. Awesome. But as for Power Rangers, I own those flip head ones. So when they could flip their heads for the
fantastic.
yeah, I had those, and I had the shiny one when they had the freaking the shiny variant. It's like super super shield.
The metallic armor.
The metallic armor. I had one of those toys.
Nice. Yeah, I had a bunch of Power Rangers stuff growing up.
I had the Ninja Megazord.
What I have now, as an adult, I have the Gold Ranger staff, the Power Sword, and Saba.
You got the collection.
I'm jealous. I always wanted the Power Sword, and I was never ever to get that thing.
Saba, and
Dude.
Last year I got the Green Ranger dagger. Just
Nice.
still have to put batteries in because I haven't found the right screwdriver for it.
You're funny. Dollar store.
What about you?
My favorite were, I have 2 sets. So I loved my Earthworm Jim. I had all of the toys.
Hell yeah.
I loved Jim so much that I played with him till the head snapped in half, because it was the Earthworm Jim toy where you press the back of his backpack and his head shoots out. And I had Peter Puppy, so me, Jim, and Peter Puppy would save not the Pound Puppies, Littlest Pet Shop every day. And Littlest Pet Shop, Peter Puppy fell in love with one of the girl dogs. I mixed, what is it? Littlest Pet Shop and this other miniature dog breed things, because I did not like girl toys growing up. They fucking sucked. They were all the same. If it wasn't pink, you couldn't get it. So I would buy nothing but boy toys and Littlest Pet Shop stuff. And when Sailor Moon came out, you'd think that the Sailor Moon toys would be my favorite, but they were dolls, and I just didn't like dolls at all. Something about dolls just was not appealing, but I collected them because I loved Sailor Moon that much, and I kept them in the box like a collector.
Yeah.
So, and the turtle toys. Oh my god, all the turtle toys were amazing.
I had so many turtle toys. I know that's the stuff that I had a lot when I was a kid.
I don't know if you guys know this, but a lot of the old turtle stuff is coming back out on retail shelves right now. So if you
saw.
Yep, they even have the transforming turtles. If you guys remember those, they went from regular turtles to the Ninja Turtles. Those are
oh yeah, I had those. Those I had. Yeah.
Packaging isn't as nice.
Those exact toys are back out at market right now. I was very tempted to buy the old retro sets of Foot Clan and Shredder and the four turtles or whatever. And I was very tempted. You know what? That's the thing. As a person who collects toys, it's as part of his core identity, as it were. It's there's never a time where you stopped thinking or stopped having that as part of your life or where your favorites were.
Yeah.
But it's very fun to sit there and look at some of this stuff come back. And Lightning Collection, as I said before, has been really fun. And also I want to bring up the Zord Ascension project, or ZAP, as they call it, which is Hasbro trying to redo some of the Megazords. Right now, they've done the original Megazord, the Dragon Zord, and they've done the In-Space Megazord. Those are the 3 they've done thus far.
That's pretty cool.
And I find it really telling that they didn't go for any of the other Mighty Morphin Zords. They went from original classics to in space. Because like that
Mhm.
shows exactly how much power in space had.
Mhm.
Where like, you know, if we're gonna
Pyramidas?
redo one.
Pyramidas is so easy. It's just a pyramid.
Listen, Pyramidas is probably, if it ever happens, it's gonna be a freaking HasLab project because it's gonna be fucking huge.
Pyramidas, big
Yeah.
as shit.
I like
Just like
the-
that. What? Okay, what's the Power Ranger? Not the Power Rangers. Like, what is the Transformer that is huge? That's basically a planet.
Oh, a Unicron. They
Unicron.
did that as a HasLab
Or
project,
Primus. Or Primus.
Yeah,
Primus,
someone
yeah,
was
'cause-
gonna give me a Unicron for like $30, and I was like, I can't fit this.
For a second, I thought you were gonna say like, "Well, who's Fortress Maximus?" And I'm like, "Oh, that giant ass freaking
no,
city."
baby,
Funny
no.
you should mention Fort Max. Okay, so full disclosure on this, like as I do TikToks about toys, and I'm right in the tail end of Headmasters.
Sweet.
Yep, I'm about to do Fort Max, and Fort Max is such a brilliant toy. He's gorgeous. He's so like he's a massive toy. He was the biggest Transformer for decades until like 2015.
Mhm, mhm.
Oh my god.
Well, but before we wrap things up, what was the Transformer that was a cassette tape?
Ravager.
Wait, hold on. What I gotta ask this question. Are you saying which one was the tape player or which one was an actual cassette? Because there's a lot of cassettes and a couple of tape players.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I'm sorry. My brother was looking for it, and I just can't remember. If there's too many, I know he
Hey
couldn't.
Siri, what was the Transformer's name that turned into a cassette player?
No, we know Soundwave.
Yeah, there was Soundwave, and then
Oh,
there was
Soundwave!
Blaster.
It was Soundwave.
Okay,
Okay.
Soundwave.
Yeah, Soundwave. Yeah, we know who Soundwave is. And freaking, what was the Autobot version again?
Blaster.
Blaster. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he didn't have that.
That's why I was like, cassette. I was like, Ravager. Ravager's like the one that everyone knows because he was in that Beast Wars episode.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Sergeant Ravager.
I am mortified. Mortified. I was at BotCon last week, and I having problems with my paychecks for the past couple weeks just because my pension started, so they're back paying into my pension from the past few months. So I didn't have the amount of money that I thought I was going to. There was an X9 Ravage. There, essentially, what that is that in Beast Wars they actually did make a transforming Ravage toy that only came out in Japan. And it got to have like the two guns, like he does in the TV show. They essentially remolded the Transmetal Cheetor action figure, so it's such a good looking toy, and it's like it was there and I couldn't buy it.
Oh,
So sad. I'm still waiting for my Lightning Collection Dulcia action figure.
oh, shut up! Stop.
All right. This was a great episode. You two know your stuff, man. Thanks to Frankie and Al for showing up and putting.
I
us
told
in
you
our
Al
place.
know his things.
You know your things. Word of advice: don't ever do a drinking game with the Power Ranger movies. Because
Especially
time,
with me.
Yeah, because I did it with Yoko once. Every time Tommy did a tornado kick, we took a shot. And
He does it a lot.
By Turbo, we were blasted, man. I didn't even
No,
remember
why did you do 2 movies?
because it was my birthday.
It was his birthday, and then I broke my glasses, and I was crying.
Oh no!
I could not remember Turbo. It was a blur. I was like, "Why is this little kid a Power Ranger? What the?"
Hey guys, I'm the Blue Ranger. What?
It wasn't very good anyway, but it was fun with friends.
Yep, as it always is.
I love going from world like conquerors to pirates who just want to steal shit. You know, those are the best villains.
You rob a bank, you know, it was great.
You rob a bank, simple
Listen,
stuff.
Diva Talks made me go through puberty early.
Oh, I understand. I know she showed a lot of cleavage.
Listen, I will say the female villain that I felt the most attracted to, if we're gonna deviate a bit from like would probably be from Lost Galaxy was Dratina.
Yeah.
That bug outfit. I don't know what it was, but I was like, damn.
Well, for me, it was Was it Scorpina?
Yeah, Scorpina
Yeah.
from Mighty Morphin.
Yeah.
I was young and I was like, oh, I don't know. Anyway, folks, It's been a while. Let's say our goodbyes.
For me, it was Lord Said.
It was a pleasure having y'all on here in Power Rangers. May you all have the power protect you.
Yeah.
Mind if I hold on a second? Do you care if I plug the other stuff?
Do your thing.
If you guys want to follow up on anything or any projects that I'm working on, I work with a mutual friend of Yoko's, Kit. We have a podcast called the Pixel Pitch Podcast, where we choose a year, and everyone from the podcast pitches a game from that year for everyone to play. We just finished up 2004, so that was a fun year for us all to play through video games on. Yeah, check us out.
Yeah, we still need to get Kit on this podcast. We've been trying for years.
He's busy.
All right,
we'll grab him.
Take care. Have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your summer, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah, if you want to follow me, just find something. I'm sure you can find me.
Oh, I almost broke my glass of water.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that.
You're right.
Glasses. Peace.
I would have plugged my old show, but that shit doesn't exist anymore.
Oh.
Womp womp.
Yoko and Frisky Dimensional Ring. Yoko and Frisky Dimensional Ring.